What about me?
All right, guys, we're coming back.
Hey, you're good.
Welcome.
Hey,
To the arena.
Welcome.
Welcome to the field of battle.
Only the
Good
victor.
Lord.
Welcome.
With the truest heart. Sorry.
Two souls.
Sorry.
Are we what I deal with?
Yeah.
That's what I deal with.
You're participating.
I know. Well, if you can't beat him, you gotta join him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. Sorry, I just made digital eye contact with Mike as he leaned forward and took a big bite of his sandwich.
Digital eye contact.
Attaboy. Oh, you're learning so well.
And he's got the bread on the cheek.
Gross.
There we go. He got it.
You got a little schmutz.
What?
Where do we leave off, Sean?
Thank you. Last we left off. There it is. Last we left off, the Wayward Five just defeated a Mind Flayer threat, bearing down on a party of Dwergar Gloomstalkers. Kiran and Sarathil fought off and defeated what appeared to be a Nexus hub with a hive mind controlling these Mind Flayers. Before destroying it, the creature captured Sarathil and spoke through him, calling itself Precursor. When questioned on the precursor to what, it responded, Harbinger. It admitted the Mind Flayers were from beyond Parstory, beyond the outside. Before it released Sarathil, and Kiran quickly destroyed it. Uncertain about committing fully to this fight, the party at least wants to break through the Mind Flayer blockade that blocks the Gloamadun Gap so they could reach Kopold Rostva, Dwergar Fortress, and speak with Gloam Lord Garlamain. What aid they can offer may yield a powerful ally for future endeavors. What aid they don't offer might leave these Dwergar to a darker fate. Gloomstalker Stronach Dragov began leading the party through the Unterlands. She brought them to a safe haven by an underground lake with a peculiar little grung named Greg. Old Greg, one. Kiran preferred the protection of his Temple of the Gods over the small hollow in the central island of this underground lake. A scintillating temple to Ilivania sprung into the caverns, illuminating the still water with a dim moonlight as Kiran ascended invisible steps that came to be, revealing this grand temple to his goddess and refuge for his friends. Talray preferred the mud and shared some stories with old Greg, who didn't like him.
When in the Underdark.
That's right. The next day, you all began passing deeper into the Interlands, simmering Interlands. And you passed through magma flows, carefully trying to avoid alerting a magma wyrm, creature that devours hot magma, flails about, creating undulating waves of hot rock. Wiswick's flying carpet and Timber's levitation helped keep our heroes safe. You delved deeper yet until you found yourselves in a more open cavern, several layers of stalactites and stalagmites. As you began sneaking through this exposed area, a mass of spiders passed through, biting and attacking any who stepped in them. You could not avoid stepping in. As Timber floated upward, exposing himself, several crossbow bolts flung from the dark into Timber, particularly into his leg. A band of drow were ambushing you. You killed a priestess that was leading them as they were trying to summon some kind of demonic energy. You took the 3 fighters as prisoners. An agreement was made. They will lead you safely through their territory, set them free. In the process, you learned that the drow created amulets that protect against the Mind Flayer psionic spheres. But the curse on these amulets seem to force the wearers to become addicted to the magic within amulets. It becomes clear to you that this is meant to indoctrinate and control their population through fear. A glimmer of doubt comes over the drow captives regarding the priest class that rules their society as you explain this to them. But these drow lead you safely through these parts. Now you find yourselves within a day's journey to the Mind Flayer blockade. Tired from the day's walk and hike through these parts. Uncertain what time it is, but having the feeling of a long day's journey and fight. You at least perceive this to be a night for you, even though there's no sun above. So, the drow have deactivated any traps that you came by, helped you avoid other patrolling drow ambushes. All in the name of survival, but hopefully maybe in an effort to help you in facing off this Mind Flayer threat, since they too are threatened by it. But you find yourselves on the other end of this open cavern towards a large abandoned Dwergar doorway that leads deeper still, and you can see old braziers that are burnt out on it. You can see that there are these ones are a bit more fresh, though. They're not filled with ancient ash. They are filled with coal and other more recently burned fires. The same thing as there's actual banners hanging that haven't been degraded through the ages or buried under rock. Some have rips and tears to them. There are no corpses, but there are very clear signs of fighting, bloodstains, discarded weapons. But any dead Dwergar were either converted to husks or were dragged off to Ceramorph chambers. Naldo would kind of point his hand to this gap and say, This was the edge of the Gloam Lord's territory. We have entered into the Dwergar's lands. Or at least what was their lands when Wiswick and I were here last.
Good. Then we're close. What's our guide's name? The woman, the Gloom Ranger.
Oh, Stronic.
Stronic.
Yes.
I think we need to discuss quickly our next moves. But first, pertaining to our captives here, Kieran says, turning to the three drow.
See, there's two that are just kind of, one you may have like patched up a little bit or let them patch each other up, and they've got bandages on their head and whatnot, and they're dazed. There's that one that is absolutely livid and devoted through and through, is just glaring at you, and then of course the one that has been very helpful and is listening keenly as you talk.
I'm babysitting.
Yeah, the one that because last session the one that was being a brat spit at you, and
I
is
remember.
just glaring at you, keeping eyes on. Go and give me a perception check.
Me?
Mm-hmm. While you're doing that, Kieran, what do you want to say to Stronic about the prisoners?
What is your working relationship with the Dark Drow at this moment?
We stay out of their hair, stay out of ours. That does not always happen, so there have been raids on one another, but we are not at war or sworn enemies, but don't necessarily prove what their worship believe in.
So you would say that you could potentially be allies with them in a common enemy found in the Mind Flayers, yes? And Kieran's saying this while looking directly at the more helpful of the drow, just kind of staring him dead in the eyes.
The long line of Gloam Lords value honor and craftsmanship and freedom. These drow, we have no problem with them, but they're priestesses. As long as they worship the dark god, Abraxas, don't know if allegiance is going to happen.
Understandable. So maybe we do away with the evil cult worship, and turning to Sarathil, Kieran leans down and whispers, "Hey, you gotta remove curse prepared because I did not prepare it today."
Sarathil, through the entire time, as we were walking through the chamber, I'd imagine had the amulet in his hand, and was studying it and kind of just like muttering to himself and just casting some like sigils, I guess, getting more familiar with it. It's like, yes, I do believe I could remove the negative side effects of using this amulet for both of them, but we'll see.
I got a 22 in my perception, Sean.
You don't like the way the brat is holding their hands behind their back. You don't see a knife, but there's just the way they're holding it. It almost looks like there's gathering dark energy in their hand.
I like to put a stop to that. I just like go over and just like quick as lightning, like either slap their hands or disrupt whatever they're doing. See what they just to disrupt whatever it is.
Go ahead and just give me an attack roll if you want.
Sure. Unarmed strike.
Yeah.
That is an 18.
All right. Yeah, you absolutely slap their hand. Like, what do you say to them when you do it? Or are you just gonna slap it and look at them meanly?
So I'll go over and like quickly slap it and then just like come around back into their field of vision and just like relishing in the fact that she's the one that gets to be in control right now. Just say, "Oh, we'll not have any of that, thank you."
You see they whisper something in Drow that you can't understand. You see the one that's been being helpful is kind of just like glaring at them. When you slap their hands, a shadow dagger did apparate in their hands and get like fall to the ground, like it was a hidden weapon that was magically hidden. You see just like ching across to the side.
Take up a post behind them so that I can keep an eye on their hands.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine Talray seeing that happen, reflexively, like, keeps his hands on his gun. And, maybe it's time maybe I'll wait a little longer.
Stronic would look to you, Kieran. Go ahead, Timber.
Oh, no. I imagine that was relatively loud. Timber would walk over to the one that was trying to be brave, and pointing to the relatively scared drow behind her. A her? Is it a her? The one that's who? It
the
doesn't
one
matter.
that's
It doesn't matter. Look, you tried to do something stupid again like that, and it will hurt your friend. Not you, but your friend.
You see, this drow does not yield. You can give me an intimidation check, actually, to see if they flinch it off here. But they have a pretty sturdy constitution.
Well, obviously, very not. I didn't glare my teeth.
Glare your teeth.
I just was
What'd you
thinking
roll?
happy thoughts. 6.
Okay. They didn't roll that high either, but they definitely withstood your threats. They once again just spit on the ground in front of you.
I break her arm.
Oof. Give me an attack roll.
Ouch.
19?
Yeah, would absolutely snap the bone in their arm easily enough.
Isn't
Kaze,
that
what are you doing?
It's fine. She could still walk.
That's not. We're trying to make allies down
Oh,
here.
and she screams, by the way, at
Oh,
the pain
good.
of that.
I cast silence on her.
It's after the scream's done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you want to cast silence,
If she
stop.
kept screaming,
Sure.
if she kept
So she
screaming,
definitely would be being loud still, and she'd be like breathing deeply and very much struggling. As I imagine a broken arm when your arms are tied behind your back is probably extraordinarily painful.
yeah, I'd begin to gag her too, and the whole 9 yards. Just really incapacitate her.
Comes over and almost just pushes Kaze aside. And
Hey!
goes, this is not how we should be treating our prisoners. And he
And even when they're
kneels
going to attack
down,
us.
and starts to cast healing word on the drow, starting to mend, taking off her bonds. I'm sorry, was it a female or a male?
And truthfully, I did not specify.
Okay.
Last session.
Okay.
So we'll say that this one is a woman and the other two
Okay.
are men.
Okay. And just undoes her bonds and starts to mend her, like reset the arm and everything. And he goes, please, I'm sure we can handle a few. I'm sorry, what exactly is your role within Drow Society?
We are fighters. We are soldiers.
Yes, a few soldiers are nothing compared to the Wayward Five, he says as he resets the arm. And as he does, he mutters a healing word to help alleviate and heal it.
Give me a persuasion roll with disadvantage.
Five.
Yikes.
Unyielding still, this drow. They are taken aback by you undoing their bonds, but they really can't do anything because their armor's broken. So no funny business happens during that time, but they are still glaring at you all with this act of kindness after an act of brutality.
Sean,
I don't feel like getting my legs shot again, Kiran. That hurt.
Wait, so I'm sorry. There's 3 drow with us.
Right.
Yes.
So therefore there are 3 amulets.
Correct.
Yes.
I have 2 of them because we gave back.
there was one.
One?
That we killed a drow.
There's 4 amulets actually because you killed a drow.
That's right. But we gave one back to the one that's cooperating. So the other
Yes,
2 are
correct.
without amulets.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. The fourth one was the priestess, though, right?
Yes.
So sorry, this sounds metagaming, but it was the fourth one also cursed?
You don't know. You didn't check it. You only
okay.
identified one of them.
I
well-
gave it to Sarathil, but
Yeah, I have
You
all of
handed
them.
him 3, so I guess.
the one with I remember it had like a spider pendant, so like around it, I think. So it's a little bit different. Maybe
You'd definitely be able to identify which one was hers.
We're on the move, so we'll just continue.
Yeah, I would like to ask Sean, are we still in drow territory from just from my limited knowledge? Would I think that this is still drow territory, like there's still going to be traps, or are we like just going further into the Underdark now? Or is it hard?
So from what Naldo said, you could know that moving forward, you would be entering into what would normally be Dwergar territory, but is abandoned right now. So you're kind of entering either one of 2 things: Mind Flayer territory, or contested territory.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the loud noises that were just given as an excuse to cast Locate Creature on Mind Flayers. So essentially, I cast everybody sees me cast a spell, and it looks like my eyes are glowing in a certain fashion, like maybe some like steam is glowing from the ends of my eyelids, and I have the ability that I could locate creatures within 1,000 feet of me.
Yep. Yeah, because you've seen a Mind Flayer up close, obviously, so you can definitely use this. to identify the closest Mind Flayer to you.
Unless
1,000.
there's running water.
Really?
Yeah, the spell can't locate a creature if there's running water at least 10 feet wide blocks the direct path between you and the creature.
Oh, okay. Well, that there is. So, you would be able to detect that there is Mind Flayer activity. There is a Mind Flayer within 1,000 feet of you, deeper into this cavern.
Yeah, so I'm gonna lean over to the person who's not involved in this conflict, which I guess is Sarathil, and say, while your buddies are making a ruckus, I noticed that with my magic that we got another one of them squid boys up ahead in that direction, and I give him an estimate.
Pointing towards the direction that we're walking in.
Yeah.
Sarathil will immediately pop up. Be like, oh, hold up. Talray here says that we have a Mind Flayer coming up ahead. So
Is it
if you're
coming
done
towards us?
squabbling, you might want to be more careful since we're still in quite a bit of danger.
It is coming towards you.
Yeah, it's headed this way at a pretty heavy, quick pace. So maybe we could set up an ambush. You know, it might be a good idea to, get ready, folks.
Is there any way to hide around
Yeah,
us?
there's plenty of rock and because you're at the essentially you have this wide expanse. This is a very large cavern. It's kind of a cavern that you can't see the ends of. It's probably been dug out by the drow themselves. And you're kind of just in where an opening closes down into a crevice that then opens up to the Dwergar entrance to their territory. So there's a lot of different hiding spaces here. The same way the drow hide in this space, they kind of have built hiding spots into this area to ambush travelers. So you could, especially with the help of your captives, you could easily find a spot to hide. If you wanted to wait it out.
I'd like to stay with the brat, please.
Tauray's gonna fly to a higher position, kind of similar to how the drow were at a higher point when they ambushed us. Look for a similar hidey hole, and then do his hide in plain sight thing, where he just stays really still and just waits with his gun ready.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing while he rolls that?
You go.
I was gonna walk up to the prisoners and kind of lean down towards them. It's I don't think I need to warn you how dangerous these things are. So keep yourselves quiet, or you're gonna be some brain childs. As I turn back around, and I will hand the rest of the party, besides Scarlet, the 4 amulets. It's maybe we should put these on for now. I know there's a bit of addictive nature to them, but at least we're aware of it. It could prove benefits just for now. We could try removing it later.
So, I think there's a point of clarification. One is one of the drow still has an amulet on him.
Right.
So unless you take it off. The other thing is there is the 4th one that's the special one.
Right, but I don't know if it's special.
Right.
It looks different. You can definitely see that it looks different.
But I'll still offer it.
Kieran's going to take one of the nondescript ones. Look at it. Look at the drow. And he's going to quickly try to cast Dispel Magic on it. Hoping to focus on the curse instead of the non-curse aspect.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Go ahead and Give me a well, actually, what level what level you're casting it at?
Gonna cast it as third, and he's going to whisper a little prayer to Ilyuvania, aka guidance.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll me that wisdom check for this.
So overall, it's an 18.
Yeah, you would see as you cast this. Imagine you have in one hand and your other hand's over it, and you kind of see similar like manipulations of it in the way that you and Wiswick did when you removed the carcery curses. And you can see kind of a similar light emanates over it, where almost like a black light looking at fingerprints, except
Oh.
it's different different etchings that are part of the curse, and you can see it's within the band itself of on the chain of the amulet. There are curses etched onto the amulet's chain, and you can see them all start to sizzle off and disappear in a black and reddish smoke that kind of sparks as it moves up, little tiny sparks of fire, as you've removed the abyssal curse.
Kieran takes this amulet and puts it on the cooperative drow. And then takes another amulet from Sarathil and does the same thing.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that wisdom roll.
Another 18.
Same thing happens. Sizzle, sizzle, snap, snap, pop, pop.
He takes
Next
this
amulet.
one, puts it on the nondescript drow, and then takes the third one from Sarathil and again.
Can I fly back down there and take one of them?
No, Kieran will stop anyone that tries to take him off the drow. He's gonna be like, we don't need this. We're stronger than them. And then he gets a 24 on that.
Definitely sizzle.
I don't know if
You're already gone.
Yeah, you're not.
You're already gone.
Oh.
You're looking for a hiding spot.
And then puts it on the quote unquote brat.
Mhm.
Do we
And
really want
then-
to give him one right now?
Her.
We really want to give
Her.
any of them one right now. Should we try to protect ourselves first? The Mind Flayer did into one of my minds, clearly. So, and I kind of like pause for a second and give Kieran a look. It's happened
Well,
before.
if need
Could we
be.
match for ourselves?
And Kieran casts Circle of Power, which gives us all advantage on saving throws for magical effects and spells.
Okay.
And there's still, and Kieran points to the last amulet Sarathil has. That was the one, I think it was Talray that looted the corpses.
Yes.
That was the one Talray took off the priestess, was it not?
I would believe so. It's different than the others.
Do you think that they would curse their own magic items?
What if it does something else other than...
It's hard to say. Talray's not in earshot anymore, is he?
No,
But I
Shit.
rolled a 23 on my perception check.
to look for hiding spots.
I have a 20 passive perception.
It's like I could. Maybe we have enough time. And I'll attempt to quickly use a spell spot to cast Identify on that one.
Okay. It has the same cloaking aspect against Mind Flayers. It does not have the curse. It does have the ability to cast the array of Dominate spells. Dominate monster, dominate creature. As well as hold creature, hold monster. Those are only accessible though with attunement.
Figured.
Other than that, without attunement, it's just a cloak for Mind Flayers.
Okay. He'll come back and be like, No, there's no curses on this one. It'd be safe to wear. But who should use it? As I guess we'll slowly give it out to Kieran, since you are the one blessing us with.
Well, no, I believe it's fine. Kaze, when you look in a mirror and value your intelligence, what would you say it is?
Oh, well, on a
Like
scale from
0
like
out of 20.
0 out of 20, it's probably like pretty average, like dead nuts average.
Like dead nuts, okay, like a modifier of 0, say. And
Yeah.
Scarlet, you're muted, Sean.
Yes.
Perfectly average.
Yeah.
How do you feel your intelligence is on a scale of 0 to 20?
Also average.
Well,
Okay.
luckily, that's why I excluded you before. Her mind blank will prevent her from any sort of psionic communication between the mind players.
Ah, fantastic. Well, Sarathil, you're clearly a very intelligent individual, so maybe Kaze here should wear the amulet. And
Alray's
let-
flying around, dumb as a rock.
and Kieran looks up and goes, and I guess we'll just hope for the best with that one.
Sarathil will slow and hold out the ammo towards Timber.
Talra, you would, with a 20, you said 23, right?
Yes.
You would definitely be able to find a alcove that, like, and you would not just be able to find like an elevated area where they hide like they were at before. You actually find like a dugout part of the ceiling of the chamber where, like, in like a large stalactite, they've like dug out a spot in it to hide that you can conceal yourself in.
Anything in there? Like some cool traps, or maybe, a snack or two?
Give me a quick investigation check.
You find 15 good berries.
Yes.
That makes 25. I got a 9 on my investigation.
There's like just like a really old spider web that is kind of in the whole thing, like just across the whole thing, with you can see this very, very large red and gray spider that's just crawling around in it. And it has what looks like a small gnome skull that's stuck in the web.
That's a big... Wait, how big is the spider?
Spider's probably this big.
Can I...
Size of a football, I'd say.
I'm gonna try and dispatch of it, like, in a way, like, I basically just, hit his, web and try and take out the whole web, like, right down the middle. And if the spider, like, gets close to me, I'll just, like, kick at it and, like, make it go somewhere else. And if it, actually tries to attack me, I'm gonna step on it.
All right, give me a unarmed strike, because it is going to try to attack you.
Dang it. All right. I'm good at these, though. Kinda.
Did you expect the spider to just go, oh man?
Yeah,
Just
it's
scurry away.
I'm a big boy.
It's a
I got a
spider!
22 to hit the spider.
Okay, yeah, you squashed the spider. It definitely was going. It was very clearly what the spider was trying to do was bite you and then run, because it's probably poisonous. But I imagine, you just like grab it and crush it in your hands, your scaly hands, clawed hands. But it is a large enough space, and now it's cleared out that you can conceal yourself in there, and with your special ability completely hidden.
So before, like, I sense that the Mind Flayer isn't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be clear to everyone, I'm going to cast a druid craft to make, like, just a spark of flame to, let everybody know where I am, because I'm, like, up in the cavern or whatever.
Yeah. So you all can see where, for at least for a moment, you see Talray hidden there, and then he essentially disappears, and it just basically looks like there's complete rock covering him.
He's not the smartest, sure, but he's a damn good fighter. He makes a good addition to the team. Now you
What is
three, he says, rearing on the 3 drow. Do you feel any different? Any better?
You notice there's a distinct difference. They all start to perspire heavily. You know, even though they like, and it's gross because their skin is basically translucent. Yeah, these are actually what drow would look like if they were stuck in the Underdark for thousands of years.
Nice.
And they do start to perspire and they breathe heavily, like very much so, like if someone just like was like just brought back to life with a defibrillator. And their eyes are wide, because it's not just that they have their amulets, which gives them a sense of comfort and safety, but they are being like a curse is being extracted from them entirely, because they were still addicted to the amulet, even though the curse was
Right.
off. And to have the amulet, but they're basically going through rapid withdrawal right now. But like they're starting to. It's not that they're building up in pain. It's like the other side of the withdrawal. Their pain is easing slowly but surely.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't have done this right before potential ambush. Can you get up? Can we hide you all?
And you see the cooperative ones. Yeah. Yes, this is. Yes. They can't. They're having trouble focusing, but they can be quiet for sure. They're just. Give me another persuasion roll, this time without disadvantage.
13.
Okay. This cooperative drow, the sense you're getting here is they're like on board now. They're not going to necessarily like say anything different or behave. You can clearly tell that they're complying much quicker with what you're asking. They're even taking kind of an initiative to help you with the other two. Like that drow, you send them off on their merry way, and they're going to start doing some subterfuge of their own people, of the priest class. The one in the middle, the brat, they are no longer glaring at you. They're more so have that same look in their face the cooperative one had when you first said to them, the priestess don't care about you. And then the third one has a concussion, so they're kind of like they're kind of like
I feel better.
I feel better and worse all at the same time. That one. The third one is probably not going to be very, like, they're not going to be uncooperative, but they're going to be dazed and not really be able to help much. Or they need a chaperone, and the cooperative one has volunteered themselves to chaperone that one.
So I imagine we're all getting up into the eaves, getting ready to hide, and as we do, Kiran will gather the other 3 that are down here in Stronic and go. Now, I think it is best if we encounter this Mind Flayer to take them out here and now. The quicker we can start dismantling this, what's it called?
Hi.
Or actually, you guys are smart too, right? What should we strike now, or should we let them not know we're here yet and keep the element of surprise?
Stronic will look at you and say, there are pros and cons. I'm sure you've been down here long enough to know that have that hive mind. It sees us. We would need to kill it in one swoop. It would need to have no chance perceiving who we are. At the very least, the hive mind will know that something snuffed a light out.
But they may just assume it's a drow ambush, yes?
If we can kill it in one swoop.
Sean,
Mhm.
the Can you describe? I'm sorry for this, but like the area in which the Mind Flayer would be coming. Can you describe what the environment looks like again? So, is it like a cliffside, and then like
No. It's basically like you've been wandering through a very large expanse here.
Okay.
And where you just can't see the side walls of this cavern. It's like a long strip, essentially, a long almost highway that you've been walking across. That has been sort of dug out by the drow, and there's a lot of like rubble and stalactites and stalagmites that are very large, and you've basically gotten to the wall on the other side of it, and there's a part of the wall that funnels into an opening, a doorway that leads down deeper. That is the opening of the Dwergar lands, and the drow is coming from that doorway. The Mind Flayer is coming from that doorway.
Okay. All right. So there's a tight little
Yeah, it's definitely hot gates situation here where it's a tight space.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
And it's like it's like an incropping of the mountainous wall. So like there's a tract of, I'd say it's probably indented into it by at least 30. It's 30 feet. Like there's a 30-foot almost, you could say, courtyard in front of it, with wall rock on either side of it, and then it opens up into the major cavern.
Can we, Sarathil? This might hurt us, but is there any way we can like kill it with the environment? Make a rock fall on it? I'm not
thinking the same thing. But I think I might have a way if we can get the jump on it. These things don't seem to be too, I guess, tough. They can go down pretty easy if we get a good enough hit.
They're very squishy.
I think I have possibly a way where I can at least delay it from maybe communicating with its hive mind, but maybe only for a brief moment. At least give us a little more of a chance.
Even if it only has a couple of seconds after the attack, they will know they are coming. Is us and not the drow.
Would you say it's like 6 seconds that we
have 6 seconds to kill the creature.
Like one round of combat?
You would say yes.
Everyone gets their turn and then...
It needs to have the surprised condition. Once the surprise condition comes off of it, it will alert the rest of the hive mind.
Of course.
Maybe we should have Scarlet ambush it. It's other option.
Just about to say the same thing.
We are specialized in ambushing as well. That's how we were able to survive long enough for you to save us.
It's true. I could see from my leg. Thanks.
That wasn't the drow saying that. That's
that's
the dwarf.
The dwarf. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep forgetting about them.
Ethan, I think we should take it. Any chance we can remove these creatures from existence, the better. We've seen how dangerous they could be. Looking kind of back to Noldor holding Wizard's body.
Sounds good. Then we shall all get into position. Tal'Ray, you hear all that?
Did I hear all that?
I mean, you would have heard them talking. I imagine they weren't talking very loudly, or otherwise it would be echoing all throughout here. But you would absolutely hear Huron say, "Tal'Ray, did you hear that?"
Yeah, Sprouting Eagle, this is Lazarus. We're gonna jump this guy right here.
Lazarus, I like that.
I do a druid craft of a little flower blossom that glows on the what do you call it? On the edge of the cliff that I'm in, and then it just immediately withers to signify that I didn't hear shit and I have no idea what's going on.
We're going to ambush the Mind Flayer when it enters from that crevice. We have 6 seconds. We have to surprise it, so hit it with your best shot.
I just hold the gun up.
Okay. So if you would all please give me stealth checks.
I'm gonna go invisible.
Cool. So you have advantage.
I am one with the wall, so I.
Yeah, you're
basically
good.
am
You
invisible.
don't even really need to roll. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, Sarathil.
What are we doing this again this week?
Good God. Oh, buddy.
You know, to be fair, mine rolled and it was stuck on a 3, and then it toppled over to a 16. So.
Well, mine did the opposite. Mine was on a 14, and then it was like, no. 1.
Do you have a modifier?
Yeah, 1.
-1.
So 0.
You rolled a 2, so
Oh,
the
I
roll
thought you
was a
rolled
1.
Oh, I see.
All right. Well, let's hear what everyone else got. So we got a 1 for Sarathil.
Ugh.
Scarlet.
31.
Wait, oh wait, no, it's advantage on saving throws that I got from Cure. mind.
Timber.
21.
Yes, good boy.
You're
Good
on.
dog.
Good.
17.
And Talra, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I get a
too
plus
good.
10 bonus. That's what the thing says?
Oh, is that what it actually does?
Yeah,
Oh, well then go ahead and roll.
I already did, and I got a 7, but plus 10 is 17.
Right.
Can my 31 cover Sarathil's blunder?
We'll see. A roll for the dwarves. They did well.
It couldn't be any worse than me.
They got a 21. And now I'm going to roll for our little captives.
3 little captives hiding in a cave. They are drowned.
AISSI.
Pretty damn good too. The drow got 21 also. All right.
Yes, thank you, Clinton.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll a perception check for this drow.
Mind Flayer. Illithid. Squid Man.
Thank you. Squiddy boy. I'm going to subtract their roll from your stealth check, Scarlet. And if what's left is still higher, then you will cover Sarathil's roll. If Huron or Talray had gotten over a 20, I probably would have just said you're good completely.
This is why we need real dice again. The computer hates me.
Agreed.
The computer hates me.
That's not how it works.
Proven. Conspiracy. Illuminati confirmed.
Oh. The eye sees all.
Ever watching.
Okay, so they got a dirty 20 with disadvantage.
What?
Yeah, so that's still higher. If you subtract 31 from that, that's still less than a 1.
No. I meant I was going to subtract theirs from Scarlet's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which makes it an 11. Which
Technically.
they now have a 0 because you used theirs to.
I appreciate it.
This does not mean that you're not going to get your surprise round on it. Sarathil just doesn't get a surprise round on it.
No.
So if you kill it quick enough, if its initiative is higher than Sarathil's, is what will happen basically.
Yeah.
So let's roll initiative right now.
All right.
All of
Sarathil.
you really don't need to. Sarathil, you're pretty much the only one who needs to roll initiative.
Okay.
Huron
You want us to roll it
whispers a
for?
little vigilance blessing to Sarathil, so he has advantage on initiative.
Ooh. Thanks. Come on, come on, come on.
So you have a real good chance of this because they don't usually have.
Thank
the
you.
initiative.
That was poopy. And that was also. What is happening? Ugh.
What'd you get?
Terrible. 12.
Okay.
I really had something cool I want to do, so I'll screw myself.
It's okay. All right. Before we resolve that, what are you all prepping to hit them with?
My fists.
Depends
the
on
black.
whether it's been dawn yet or not.
It has not.
I've
Even
got some
through the
charges.
long rest.
Oh well, yeah. I thought you
Great.
meant this day. Yeah, you've had
Yeah,
2 long rests since the fight with the original Mind Flayers.
Yes, I did not use my disintegrate charge in the last combat.
Okay. What are you doing, Scarlet? You're gonna
I'm
step?
doing what'd you say?
Step?
Step. Kinda. I'm gonna have prongs of the black out, and I'm using 2 hands so I can get more damage. And I'm gonna use a couple of charges to do things when it's my turn.
Sounds good. And Chiron, what are you doing?
I think Huron's just gonna go for classic guiding bolt at 6th level.
Excellent. All right. Let's see. So, what you would see as you're all getting into your hiding spots, you would actually. What I'll need you all to do is give me wisdom saving throws.
Do I need to do it?
No.
Do you have magic? Is this magical effect?
Yes.
All right, y'all have advantage.
Do I need to do it with the necklace on?
Oh, you're wearing the.
It's wearing
I
the-
forgot
yeah.
you're wearing the. Yeah, no, you don't need to do it. You don't
Okay.
need to do it. Okay. Dwarves are all right.
Oh damn. Oh dip.
The drow are all right. Oh, the drow don't need to roll. They've got the.
You think a dirty 20 will do it, Sean?
All right, so we got a dirty 20 from Talray. Huron, what'd you get?
18.
So you guys are doing all right.
Scarlet.
To roll.
Oh, that's right. And Sarathil, what'd you
Oh, I have to make one too?
Yeah.
With advantage, wisdom, yeah.
I'm gonna roll for Monday as
Oh
well,
my god.
who I guess is up here with me.
We let him roll real dice.
14. 14. That was with a +6, by the way.
Hates you.
get? It really does.
It
I don't
is
know
not a
In
good
a
day.
row.
I did.
Because you had a
Jeez.
bad roll.
Maybe change the dice on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
different
let
type.
me do that.
It's not the dice. That's not how dice works.
Monday got a 19.
You're right. It's the roller, Stefan.
Yeah.
Now,
It's the single
Mike-
man at D&D Beyond headquarters.
It's physics.
That's just choosing.
it's just bad luck.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It has nothing
No.
to do with the dice. It's all about you and the mojo
Exactly.
you're bringing.
So
You gotta believe
feel bad
in
about
the
yourself.
heart of the card.
Alright, let me just real quick.
Your hair is crazy enough for 2 people.
My hair is telling me.
All those child adopting classes.
Sarathil, you take 13 points of psychic damage.
Halved.
And you you are considered frightened of the Mind Flayer.
I mean, it fits because they freaking delved into my mind, so let's just play it off
Yeah.
of that.
And you have 1 psionic point against you, so mark that down.
Okay.
No. That's not good.
Okay. So I think we'll play this into the reason for your low stealth roll.
Sure.
All of you would just start to see a very dim light coming up the tunnel as you're all getting ready to position yourself to attack. Sarathil, what you would feel is a slow building whisper in your mind of thousands of voices. And then kind of just a searing pain in your mind that feels like it's that feeling of not nails on a chalkboard. Your teeth hurt, your skin crawls as you begin to feel intense fear. And this is what kind of gives Sarathil away at this point, as whoever's with Sarathil in the hiding spot would see him start to like push back and try to conceal himself as best he can, but in the process he's kind of moving dirt around and kind of trips and falls and slides down, and you can see his whole legs go out into the open right as the Mind Flayer exits the doorway. But before we get to that, you can all attack this fucker. I'm gonna say whatever order you all want to attack in.
If Kieran shoots first, the next attack has advantage. So.
I'll go after you so I can get sneak attack.
Perfect. Good idea.
Perfect.
Right,
Well, you
Greedo.
would probably get it anyways because he can't see you, right?
Oh, you would, yeah, because you all have advantage.
So actually,
on the
we
attack.
all have advantage on attacks.
Yep.
Because it's.
So
Surprise.
if you want to rethink that, you can, or you can stick with it.
I'm not assassin anymore.
Could we get double? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter then who shoots first. I guess, do we want to just roll a quick initiative off for ourselves?
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, if you want to.
Sure.
Sure.
Does anyone have any effects that blind enemies?
No.
Not one.
Pocket sand. I have pocket sand.
Yeah, just kick up some
You
dirt.
actually have pocket sand?
No.
I do, but I'm pretty much petrified at this point.
Actually,
I have
I
blindness and deafness.
the staff with Fog of the Moon creates obscuring.
I'll say if you want to use that, that will prevent him from seeing Sarathil.
Dope. So yeah, so having Guiding Bolt readied, like the tip of a staff starts to glow, and then seeing Sarathil like start to panic or something, whatever's happening, Kieran quickly switches the magic and plants the staff in, and it creates that fog effect that billows out, and it needs to make a con saving throw, DC 20.
Got it, boss. It fails because it rolled a 5.
All right, so it's going to take 10 radiant damage. Ooh, that's not terrible.
What'd you cast on it?
Fog of the Moon, the effect from my staff.
Got it.
Fog of the moon.
Okay, so how much was the damage again? Sorry.
10 radiant.
10 radiant. Okay. All right. So you see the fog ushers out of your staff. It envelops the area, exceeding the total distance, and there's just sort of this sphere of fog all around. From any outside perspective, it would just look like a moon essentially has taken up this space. As you can see, kind of just little like bursts of thunder and lightning. Radiant energy surges through it, finding the Mind Flayer, as you can immediately see it kind of cluster around its silhouette in the fog, marking it all for you to attack. So, who's next?
I'll go. All right.
Go for it.
Do it.
First question, actually. Are they wearing armor?
No, they do not wear any armor.
All right, I'm going to use a charge at the start of my turn to increase the reach of prongs by 10 feet.
Excellent.
So I've now got 20 feet, I think,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yes.
All right, so I'm going to get within 20 feet of it, and I'm using 2 hands so I can get more damage, and I'm just going to kind of like use my bonus action to speak the command word, Isgoth, and then I'm going to reel it back and just like lash it out and try and just like
Yeah, absolutely.
smack it.
You see Scarlet steps out and she pulls back the longsword to go for a heavy strike. As you see erupting out of it in a even longer. It's interesting. It's almost like as she swings, and she doesn't. She's swinging a sword not at the Mind Flayer. Essentially, she's swinging it as if the Mind Flayer is right in front of her in 5 feet, and then as what you would hit, the prongs just shoots out like a whip. You can see that magmic sludge that makes up the scapulum inside there comes out, and you can see it burns with the embers of the magma within. What'd you get in that roll?
Hell yeah. I haven't rolled yet. I was mesmerized by how cool I look. 28.
I thought I was going to describe how cool it was, and then you were going to say, I got a natural 1.
No, I got a 28.
I'm here for the low
for
rolls
sure.
tonight.
All right, so 9 points of slashing damage
Okay.
plus 10 points of fire damage
Cool.
plus nice 20 points of sneak attack damage.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
39 damage. Excellent.
39 damage. Damage.
Okay.
Yep, and then however much movement it took me to get there, I'm gonna drop.
Yeah, easy enough. Who's next?
I'll go. I'm gonna go for a crawling to a Mortal Kombat uppercut.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Kombat. Oh, it's good. Oh my god. I rolled a 5 and a 5. It's a 17.
Hits.
Oh, okay, I'll take it.
Oh, I didn't roll with advantage. Should I do that to see if it's crit?
Yeah, to see if it's a crit.
Yeah, see if it's crit.
First one's 11 damage. These are all going to be stunning strikes.
Nope, no crit.
Oh yeah. All right, first stunning strike, con save, right?
Si, senor.
16.
Just makes it. DC 16. Second attack is a 9. Another stunning strike.
A 9 to hit or
Oh no, that was 9 damage. Sorry, I just.
Oh, all good. No problem.
Yeah.
It fails the stunning strike. It is stunned.
Okay. I hit it again for a 20. Oh no, I'm not stunning it anymore. Then I already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I just instinctually rolled.
And then that's 15 damage. So 9, 11. So that's yeah, 35. And then last attack. 19 to hit. So that's another 10 damage. So.
Okay.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Talray.
Mundi first.
Okay.
So I use my bonus action to use my command Drake action, which allows me to tell Mundi to perform an attack. So
Excellent.
he's gonna do. He's gonna fly down at a dive bomb pace, like full speed, straight towards this thing, and give it a nice chomp with its magically infused
Chompers.
jaws. Yeah. So let's give that guy a go. He's got advantage too.
Yep.
All right. He rolled a 16 plus 8. So that's going to be a 24 to hit. You think
That'll hit.
Pull it off.
Yeah.
Very good. Unfortunately, every time I roll for it, okay, so it's 1d6 plus stuff. I want to say it's 1d6 plus 5. Sorry, I gotta look this thing up again because
All right, you're playing a new
D&D
class.
Beyond doing weird things. Okay, so it is 1d6 plus my proficiency bonus, which is 5. So, and then an extra 1d6 radiant damage for Magic Fang.
Nice. Go ahead and roll the d6s.
All right, so the first one is piercing. Here it goes. I rolled a 1 plus 5 is 6 piercing damage. And for the radiant damage, I rolled a 6.
So that's
So-
16 total, or 12 total.
Yes. 6
Okay,
radiant.
cool. How does Mundy
And-
want to do this?
Mundy kills it? I don't even
Yeah.
get to shoot?
Mundy
Hell
gets the
yeah.
kill.
He's just gonna swoop down and like literally just he goes for the he bites into the creature's collarbone, and the horn, the singular like curved horn on his head goes and like impales it right through the eye accidentally. And when he pulls up to finish his swoop, because like he came in real fast,
Yeah.
so he's gotta like be pulling up as he's coming down. He just takes the whole thing with him, and there's just like tentacles flying off the top of his like horn as he flies around the room, and then it just like plops to the ground somewhere.
Oh, he takes the head with him?
Yeah,
On the horn?
just,
Hell yeah.
like bit off the neck and then ripped it off with his horn.
Yeah. You would all see Mundy do exactly like swooping down. You can just kind of hear the wind sound of it a little bit as it almost like disperses some of the fog for a moment as it comes in. And the Mind Flayer is floating, by the way, this whole time. It's because it came in just sort of slowly levitating in. So Mundy just kind of swoops down and like grabs the Mind Flayer in his updraft, and just bites into the neck, breaking it off. And it's just like in that moment, just bites the head and just sort of kicks the body off in its up in their updraft, as the head gets kind of caught on the horn and flings and rips the last bit of flesh apart as the head goes flying all over the place, and the lifeless body of the Mind Flayer just drops unceremoniously to the stone ground, silver blood bleeding from the head wound.
As the
That
body.
Talray pops off 2 shots on the dead corpse.
Yeah, and you just see, just as the body just sort of.
As the body falls and then Talray fires off those shots, I'll like hold the prongs in my left hand and just what's the word I want? Like smack it, but that's not what I want.
Retract it.
Thank you. Retract it, and as it goes back,
Hand motion.
thank you. The hand motion as it goes back into its normal form, and I'm putting it away. I will look at the bratty drow and be like, I can do that to you if you want to continue being difficult.
They don't even look at they're not even looking at you. They're looking beyond you, to Mundy, and they're just like in awe of Mundy.
Good.
I while I'm flying down, like Mundy, like as a dog does, will like come up and like want to like be like get his pats for being a good boy. And
see-
like mid-air, I'm just like like scratching his head, like petting his horn, getting some of the guck off.
Yeah. Mundy's like flapping their wings, and you can see they kind of like slowly get to the side of the cliff, and you see they just wrap their tail around a stalactite and hang there while you're scratching, giving him scritches, and he's just sort of leg kicking. Big floppy purple tongue drops out of the mouth as he hangs upside down, and the wings just kind of like going like this. The wings are doing more. So like how a dog will kick its back leg when you scratch it, Mundy's wings just sort of shake when you scratch him on the belly.
I go help. I go help Sarathil off the ground. You all right there?
It's 1,000-yard staring.
Hey. You okay?
I just scratch or like the back of his neck. It feels like like a little tingle, even though it may not be there. Like he feels kind of
You
how the
see-
tentacle took him before too,
Do you want
and
this?
he's kind of just
Do you want this?
um
Here you go.
he'll like snatch it out of his hands quickly, and putting it on and kind of get like a sense of comfort.
Yeah, you would definitely feel kind of an immediate ease when you put it on. It's hard to tell if the ease is an actual magical effect or if it's just psychological. But
I like to believe the latter.
but you would see Stronach is like unloading her crossbow, because they were gonna attack after Talray. And she does look at Sarathil and to you, Timber, because you're the one checking on him. It says, "He's heard the voices."
What did they say?
Don't say anything of value or comprehension.
Ah,
It's just something done. Very careful. It's best he keeps that on. Heard the voices. It means that the process has begun.
the process.
But as long as where's that? Okay. The warnings say don't run from the voices. It's about a half day's journey now. The gap.
Yes, about that, Stronach. I was wondering if there's some way we may coordinate with the defenders back at what's the city called?
Kolpolt, Rotstva.
Back at the coal rot back at your home.
Kolpolt Rotstva.
Yes, Kolputratska. Yes. Apologies. If there's someone there we could get in contact with to maybe coordinate an offensive of sorts to break through.
We could gain an advantage point where they could see us from the walls. We have a complicated system of communication symbols that we could potentially reach the defenders in there.
Well, if you could describe an individual to me, I could simply send them a magical message. That's more straightforward and to the point.
Yes. That. And you see she drops down to a knee and kind of like holding her crossbow on the ground like a cane almost. She puts another hand on the earth, and you see like pebbles start to get attracted to her hand as you see a bunch of rock moves, and then you see she slowly lifts her hand, and as she does, it's almost like a 3D printer. These rocks all form and mold into a perfect rendition of Gloam Lord Garlemane. This is the Gloam Lord. This is all you need.
Yes, just a passing. Let's just double check the spell here.
You hear another one of these dwarves, Dwergar. You see,
Familiar.
yeah, you see the
Is the
one
word.
that has that like an insane bushy red hair.
Yeah.
Looks at it and goes, "Ah, you guys knows wrong." I don't think so. He's got the button nose. But yeah, this is definitely would give you a familiarity enough to cast the spell.
At this point, Talray would fly down and, like, before you cast anything, just say, "All right, I think that was the last of them. But I don't want to stick around to see if any more show up. I think we should get going while my abilities are still active. And you could see like the smoke that was like shining from his like the glow in his eyes is starting to like dim. It lasts an hour.
Okay.
All right. Do you sense any more of them in close proximity?
Sean,
Within 1,000 feet, no.
not within a I don't know, some southern phrase. Not within 1,000 feet.
As the crow flies.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So we have a quick moment to rest then and make some plans before we head out. Unless you want to keep this spell active while we move forward. But I think we all need a short little rest before we continue.
Yeah, I'd say you have about 4 more hours of travel in this day before you'll start getting the exhaustion rolls.
Okay. And she said it's like a half day's journey.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get about a third of the way there before you have to
Okay.
take a long rest.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you
so
could
maybe,
go through the night and get there quicker,
Right.
but
maybe we take care of this when we rest for the night. Until then, we'll continue forward, just so we have a better idea of what's ahead, and we have Talray's sense for a little longer.
all right. So Stronach would agree, and she would begin leading you down the path. Clearly, much more alert and tense here as you're moving in. Does anyone? You guys are just re-upping things that you need to cast, right? Like the dark vision on Sarathil and the mind blank and the forbiddance.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically at dawn every day. I think
Cool.
we're doing that. Is this where we are
Doing that
leaving?
now? We're not long resting. Was it just because of the morning you said?
You have a little bit more that you could travel. You could travel for 4 more hours if you wanted to.
Are we leaving
Okay.
the drow here?
It's up to you.
Well, so we're at the edge of your territory. You've upheld your end of the deal. Kieran says, stepping forward to the three.
Are we free?
Kieran looks back at his companions.
Yeah. Free them.
And he goes and he unties the
course.
bonds on all three. And he might do a little healing word on the concussed one. He might be like, hey man, it's alright. It's gonna just make sure, like, no bright lights. You might want to lay down, but don't go to sleep just yet. Make sure it passes first. I think that's how you deal with a concussion.
You know, that Elysian medicine.
Remembering the last time, you know, he talked to the drow, Talray's gonna go up to the one that he was like sort of interrogating or, you know, trying to convince earlier. And he says, I don't know what type of welcome you're gonna have when you get back, but you're welcome to stay with me until we get to someplace a little safer. If you think it's too dangerous, go back. I promise you that I'll do what I can to make sure that they don't arrest you on sight or put you in a dangerous situation.
You see the cooperative drow looks at you and nods. Thank you for your offer. But I think the three of us have a lot to talk about. Work to do. Back home. We can endure whatever punishment they give us. Seen worse.
So we probably relieve them of their weapons, right?
I was about to say, I was gonna see if I could metagame that I walk over and go to my bag of holding and pull out 3 swords for them of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's.
gonna hand him a weapon.
Wouldn't even
so
say
he
that's a
has
meta
something.
game.
All right, not meta, but yeah, whatever.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You could definitely give them weapons. At least swords, if you want. Were you going to give them anything, Talray?
You know, if he's giving him back this equipment that he had, like they,
I don't give them their bows back as a statement.
Because they shot you with them.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just hand him a short sword that I happen to have. You know, it would be a very ornate short sword.
Yeah.
As it came from a dragon's hoard. It doesn't have any magical properties or anything like that.
Just
but
real
it
pretty.
is a good looking one.
Yeah. You
it
see
might have some runes from some other, like, you know, dimension somewhere that, like,
Yeah.
you know, some fancy shit that he's probably never seen before.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say just because I think this is a cool moment. I'm gonna say it's a moon touch short sword. Just to give a little flavor there. And you see the cooperative drow takes that one. You see the runes glitter a little bit with moonlight shining in their face. It looks real gross with the light shined on it, as you can see, kind of just like blood moving in the veins underneath. You can see like the muscle tendon of their jaw on the bone, and kind of that like opaque darkness of their all black sclera or all black eyes behind the translucent skin. You know, like if you ever seen translucent fish,
Mm-hmm.
basically like that. And they'd kind of nod to you.
Yeah, I just say in Elvish, I mean, it's
Mhm.
probably not drow, but I say a small gift of Gloamadun.
And the cooperative drow will say to you and end the sentence looking to Curon. These gifts will not be forgotten. Then he'll direct the other two, and they'll start heading back away. As you've planted some seeds in the drow society underneath here. We shall see what they grow into. 3 drow brutally murdered. Tortured and imprisoned for
All right, now let's pause this campaign and start a side campaign.
That's actually would be pretty cool, actually.
Well,
yeah, completely pause this campaign. As the 3 drow go and convince 2 other drow to join them in starting a rebellion. Okay. You can begin the journey into the territories of the Dwergar held by the Mind Flayers. I'd say, you know, in the first hour, Talray, while you still have your locate creature up, you would definitely start getting pings of Mind Flayers. They are not moving towards you, though. And it's the kind of thing I imagine when you're moving through the territory of the creature you're locating. Like it locates the closest one to you, so it's constantly like popping in different spots, about 1,000 feet to all of your right where you're traveling. So you imagine this is likely a Ceramorph chamber that you've discovered. That's about 1,000 feet deeper to your right.
Yeah, and since it's, you know, I would have been using the ranger abilities to make us travel faster anyway. I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, in the lead, and, you know, every once in a while I'll, like, you know, stop the group and, like, do a hand signal, like, along with it, and
Mhm.
you know, eventually people will see that I'm using the same hand signals every time, and kind of understand where I'm getting at when like I stop talking when I
Mhm.
do them, and, you know, just getting people into the habit of, you know, following my lead when I'm on Trippa mode.
Talray, can you give me a survival check?
Sure. I get advantage on those.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I get better than advantage. I get double proficiency.
Nice. Expertise.
So survival check. Go. I got a nat 20.
Ooh!
Oh,
Plus
yeah.
15 is 35.
Okay. You all are traveling, and when you get, it's towards the end of your 4 hours that you're going to go tonight, that Tal, you don't have the tracking up anymore, but you would essentially start to hear the sounds of the Mind Flayer bases, essentially, where they've clustered together. You start to hear the gurgling sounds. You start to see the coolant again. And there's no sounds of footprints at all, or like patrols, because they all float. But you start to see the first signs of husks. You see some that have been destroyed and killed, and you see their parts are all over the place. And I imagine that there's a point when you all, because of how well your survival skill was, you come upon a pathway that leads to this hub of Mind Flayers. And you can see them for a moment, or see portion of this base. You can see they've carved out the stone of a chamber to create a little forward camp. And you can see several Mind Flayers floating in the air of this open space. And they almost just look like they're just these creepy bodies that just float there and move about. They're not doing anything particular other than observing. As you can see, this area is sort of slowly being converted into a Ceramorph chamber. It's actually interesting to see them in its infancy of this happening, as you see some Mind Flayers are kind of taking their hands and running it across this sphere, or not sphere, sorry, this ring. They run their hands across the ring, and you see several runes light up in a green color across it, going all the way around to the front, where you would see a little fork that lights up in the center of it. And you see it kind of a portal appears within the ring, and you see this just immediate dropping of like soup and goo and coolant. Go ahead.
This past my forbiddance zone?
Oh shit, that's right. Your forbiddance is up. No, it doesn't. So you see them trying to make it work, basically. And you could hear those same like crackling noises you heard when the big ring was trying to summon in more reinforcements in the cistern, in the kiln. So you would hear kind of like cracking, like lightning cracks that are coming from this ring, and you can see the lights of the runes go on, but nothing happens. You can see several Mind Flayers just floating around it, trying to, and they're running their hands in that same kind of like ethereal script is coming up that you saw the other one manipulating. So they know something is interfering with their teleportation magic.
I think realizing what's happening, like just getting a general idea that like this isn't what they're supposed to be doing, I look back at the others and I kind of just try and push them away from the large area. Like we should just like, go some other way. Like I do the hand signal and I'm like,
yeah,
bad place, no go, keep running.
Yeah. And you can see like they've clearly in like the off hours where Forbiddance isn't cast, like the very small amount of time that it is, they've been able to get some things out, and you can tell that this is significantly held back the progress of them creating this forward Ceramorph chamber, and significantly probably cut off reinforcements to the blockade. Because this is probably what they were setting up, which is a place for them to teleport more Mind Flayers in to fight to reinforce the blockade.
Yeah, they're gonna have to wait for a long rest.
So you move onward with the help of Talray to keep yourselves from getting in trouble. And Stronic would look around and she would look back to Kieran because she knows that you've been casting that spell. And she says, this whole system of caves was impossible to traverse only a week ago. Whatever you're doing is weakening their blockade, their control of our territory.
The magic of Ilyvania stops those that seek to do harm.
Excuse me. I'm pretty sure I'm the one leading you guys through this mess right now. A little appreciation would be nice. You know, Ilyvania's not in charge of everything that happens down here.
You see Stronic
That's
looks
where
over.
You're
Go ahead.
wrong.
Stronic looks over and is like, yes, we appreciate it. We've also been leading you through here directionally, but we do appreciate your survival skills as fellow rangers.
Who also can't
Ki-
get lost.
Kieran leans down to her, which is comical because she's small and he's tall, and goes, I think he's a little sensitive.
She gives you a smile. Come this way. We've got if this area is as clear as it appears to be, then one of the hideouts should be clear enough for us to rest in. Right this way. And she would lead you to a similar alcove hiding spot like the one you found with the warning in it. She ushers you all in, and then you see she starts to cast some magic on the front door. And it kind of closes you all in, almost as if she's molding the earth to close the cavern away. And inside you then, as soon as that is closed, you see inside it's pitch black in here until she lights up her slag sword, and then goes over, and you see she does the same kind of technology where she traces some runes in a particular direction, and you see the room glows a dull jade green as runes light the room up. You have a place to rest for the evening.
At this point, Taue kind of took what Kieran was saying to heart, and is kind of looks a little bit downtrodden from the way he was looking before, and
That he whispered that quietly to Stronic. It was not a.
I mean, we were all right next to each other, but all right. If you whisper something, I see you whispering, and I infer.
Okay.
You could have said something way worse, and I would have taken it as that. Like, he's feeling a little insecure. So
To his point.
So I'm gonna go up to Kieran and say, I know I haven't been too much help to you folks, but I think that I have one gift from Gloamadun that might be very helpful. It's a little bit of a challenge for me to do. It usually takes me a couple tries, and sometimes I mess it up, but I was wondering if you can do your little magic thing on me to maybe make me a little better. It's a ritual. I don't know if you've ever heard of Contact of the Plane.
I don't know that spell myself, but I can imagine the name of it, what it might do. But Talray, please, I simply, you've done much to help us. You're quite the shot, and Mundi has been an excellent help as well. Plus, you've led us through past all these Mind Flayers.
I mean, I haven't really shot anything in a while that wasn't already dead. Mundi's great, sure, but you got these other rangers, and they know what they're doing. They seem like smart folk. I just want to prove that I can be of use to you. Please, just if you could help me out, maybe I could learn something for you. If you have any questions that you might want to ask a godly power, I have a ability that allows me to do so.
Well, that's fantastic, Talray. And Kieran will pat him on the shoulder, giving him a little guidance, and goes, "But our mission is to help you find Gloamoon, correct? So whatever questions I'll have can wait until we meet him. You ask what you need to now."
He, gives him a smile, and you see him spread his wings, and he gets into a meditating position where you see that some of his draconic features are elevated. Like he holds out his claws, he takes off his shoes, and you can see that his feet are kind of draconic as well, and he stretches out his clawish feet, and he goes into a somewhat trance, and as he does that, it looks like his eyes are closed, but eventually they open when he casts the ability, and you see that they're fully draconic, as bright as you've ever seen them, glowing with that moonlight energy. And I'm gonna give the ritual a try. It takes 10 minutes to do it, but
Go ahead and give me that intelligence saving throw.
well, folks, it was good knowing you. Whoa! 19 minus 1 is 18. It's a DC 15 for folks at home. Otherwise, I go insane and take a ton of damage.
Okay. So you see, this is as you're all kind of sitting there, and you see Stronach is handing out some food stored there from the cache there, in blankets and stuff for you all to keep warm. The green runes in here seem to flicker and dim as Talray completes the ritual. You see his eyes stay the way they are, and Curon, anyone watching really, would see Talray. An echo of him seems to almost float up out of his body, and you see it just sort of floats there in the air. As you can then see, as those green lights completely go out at this, and the only light is a dim moonlight coming off of Talray's projected form. And then you can see kind of immediately this little light twinkles and starts to move around the chamber, and then forms into a very small dragon, or at least the shadow of a dragon that flies around the room, an echo of the dragon. With that, Curon, their appearance, like the coloration and spectralness, looks exactly like the maiden of Ilyavanya you saw that led you to Talray. And it's a little tiny dragon, probably the size of a large dog, I would say. And it's just flying around, and then you see it just sort of hovers right in front of Talray's floating body. The wings of this dragon, by the way, they're not like huge draconic wings. They're more like hummingbird wings, and they're moving extremely fast, giving it a kind of a bumblebee-like movement as it hovers. Talray, is your question for the Echo of Gloamoon?
All of my questions are going to be in Draconic. And my first one is going to be great echo of the dragon god Gloamoon. It is an honor to be in your presence. I beseech you to answer my questions 5. Can the Wayward Five be trusted to help me in the search of this plane's version of you?
Tara, you would see the little dragon kind of hovers there and moves about. And then you would hear a voice in Draconic in your mind. Almost like a whisper. You can barely hear it. As it just says, yes.
You just see visible relief on Talray's face as he goes for his next question. Can the goddess Ilyuvanya be trusted to guide me as well?
Always.
Is the dimensional horde safe without me?
Unclear.
Will I ever return home to the horde's entrance in Taramran? So you guys just heard Taramran.
All of you out there, like you would hear this coming from Talray's body, not the projection of him. Mundy this entire time is sitting there, eyes wide, pupils wide, staring up with wonder at the echo of Gloamadun. Uncertain.
I think getting those two, there's a visible pause in between those two last questions that weren't answered the way that he was hoping, and he looks up with concerned eyes and says, Am I worthy to be doing this? To be on this quest? It seems it's just so much. I've never had to do something this important. And I don't know if this Plains Gloamadun, if he was right, or if he was just desperate to put his faith in me. Do you think I can do this? That I could find him?
The hummingbird shifts around. And that same draconic voice comes into your head as this hummingbird kind of shoots through your astral projection, and says, "Whether you are worthy or not does not matter. What matters is Gloamadun chose you. It's up to you." And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the light fades from his eyes and his arms drop slowly from like his resting position, his meditative state, down to his waist, and lie there, kind of like dead for a little while until he kind of snaps out of it. He like scratches his neck, and says, "Well, shit."
Everything okay?
I guess so. Didn't really get all the answers I was looking for, but I mean, it's safe to say that you folks are are with me to get done what needs to be done, and I'm the only man to do it, so that's all there is to it.
At that, Kieran sits down next to Talray and kind of pats him on the back and goes, "If there's anything I've learned from communing with the gods, it's that you never quite get the answers you're looking for. And you always got to do everything on your own, so. Well, with the friends you've met along the way, Kieran says, looking to the group.
And that's where we're going to take a quick break. All right, folks. So we're going to be back in 5 minutes. So please stick around. But go ahead and, do as we do. Go to the bathroom, grab a drink, whatever you need to do. Take care of yourself. And then back in 5 minutes. See you soon.
not yet. And
Welcome back, everybody, to Advantage in Paradise. Our heroes have made their way through a large swath of territory of the Underdark to begin their approach, after a long rest, to Kopult Rostva, across the Gloamadun Gap, to break through the perimeter there, the blockade of Mind Flayers, to help the Dwergar and see what comes next. So, our Talray has just communed with an echo of Gloamung that gave him some insights into the Wayward Four and their motives, Iluvania, the moon goddess, as well as his mission. Well, more so confirming his mission and leaving him a little uncertain about his fate. So, these moments before bed, what would you all like to do?
I would like to find a little spot. And I'll like set up my bedroll and take out my my special quill that I bought like a long time ago. My one that kind of looks like a flame, my red, orange, yellow one.
Oh yeah, that was a very long time ago.
Very long time ago. Yeah, and I'll pull out. I don't remember if I bought like a special notebook for my calligraphy doodles or if I just bought paper. In any case, I'm pulling out something to.
You bought a special notebook.
Okay. All right. So I pulled that out along with my quill, and I open it, and I kind of start writing my name. I start writing Rowan, but before I finish it, I kind of look over at Timber. What's Timber doing right now?
Timber's setting up tents, or he's finishing up setting up like the last tent for Iluvania's tiny hut for somebody to sleep in.
Okay.
Iluvania's tiny hut.
Yes.
I will. I'll put my quill as like a bookmark in the notebook and gently close it and kind of just hold it and walk over to Timber and just be like, do you have a moment, Timber?
Of course, Scarlet. What's on your mind?
Do you mind if we sit for a moment?
Sure. Do you want to play darts? I was thinking about this earlier. Is there a nice wall over there? We could talk while we play darts.
You see Stronach kind of looks at you as she's kind of getting relaxed, and she just peek an eye open when you say darts.
No. Later. Maybe. We'll see. Let's go take a walk over there, Scarlet.
So we go and we sit. And I sit crisscross and I'm holding my special notebook kind of like to my chest like this and trying to find the words. And it takes a couple of minutes before I figure out what I want to say.
Is it everything okay, Scarlet? What's on your mind?
I don't quite know how to explain it or ask it. The words aren't coming. It's difficult to find them.
Is it because of the sears, the parasite in your neck?
No,
Is
I
it
don't
because
feel
of
that
Wiswick?
right now. No, well, it's part of it, but how do you deal with the knowledge that you can hurt our friends at any moment?
Well, at first once I knew I could, I was terrified. I wanted to remove myself from every situation. But honestly, you talked me out of it.
You did?
You did.
did I say? I don't even remember.
Well, it was you and Kiran. You both gave me a reason to keep going. Kiran gave me something to focus on, and you gave me another focus personally. You reminded me of my children that I need to get back to. And in order for me to do that, I need to follow Kiran. And I wasn't going to get anywhere by myself. I would just be the same. And even though I'm afraid of hurting everybody, Kiran keeps reassuring me that everything's going to be okay. As did you. So.
Kind of where I'm at this moment. I want to be alone because I don't want to hurt anyone. I've already done it and I don't want to do it again. But I don't want to be alone. So, I don't know, it's confusing.
Well, first I went to alcohol, and, that's not a good solution. I will tell you that much.
I did something similar, just not liquid.
What did you do?
I let the Cirrus in.
Ooh.
She dulls the emotions and I don't have to feel them. But the more I do that, the more vulnerable my mind is.
Well, you should still be thankful that you can feel. That is a defining trait of, being who you are, Scarlet, and also being a humanoid and not some sort of monster.
That word monster, I just kind of look away.
I said you're not a monster.
Oh, I know. It's just that word. That's what my brother calls me. And he's not wrong.
We all have a
don't want to
monster. We not necessarily are one.
I don't want to think of myself as that. But it's true. Like, I've done terrible things.
We've all done terrible things. We may also continue to do terrible things, as long as we continue to observe. Shh, you. We may continue to do terrible things here and there, as long as we are aware of them and try to do better the next time. You've come a long way, Scarlet. From where you were prior to meeting me and everyone else here.
I appreciate that.
So to answer your question earlier about how I deal with the monster inside of me, I try to give myself a different focus, a different goal. Right now the goal is just to not think about the monster and think about helping our friend Kiran to make this world a better place.
And do you feel all of this emotion?
Oh, yes, I process it through meditation. It's a very helpful skill. And that's why I kept harping you to try it out over and over. And I think you should go back to it again. Once you wake up every morning, 30 minutes. I also recommend it before you go to bed too. But usually, when you go to sleep and you stare at the ceiling, that's usually some sort of form of meditation. So-
Well, I could use something different to focus on other than self-loathing.
So, distractions are key, and not harping on the past, but moving forward.
Right. Thank you.
No problem.
As
do
you two
you want to
are-
play darts? How many daggers do you have left in your bag?
You hear Stronach just sort of like getting up and like reaching into her bag for some daggers.
I have a few.
All right. Let's see who can. I'll make a dartboard. I'll scrape one out or something like that.
Oh, there's plenty of like detritus. It's similar to the last chamber in that there's a lot of leftover stuff here, and you see you don't even need to because Stronach does it before you can even think about it.
Oh, okay.
As you see her rush and look through everything and puts it up, and she's just like, and then she's kind of like very casually comes over, kind of flipping a dagger, like, did somebody say darts?
Go play darts, Scarlet. I gotta finish up the tent.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Give his hand a squeeze.
I squeeze back. Actually, I gave her a hug instead. I was like, no.
When you hug her, Kieran just like pokes his head around the tent and goes, "Are you two having a heart-to-heart without me?"
Kieran, don't worry. You'll get it on the next one.
Oh, fantastic.
I wanted
And
to
he
give
just
you a break, Kieran. I always unload on you.
just disappears behind the tent.
Yeah, Tara would just be like in the background, like, hey, Kieran, where'd you go?
You would see Stronach pulls out this what looks like this gourd, dried out gourd, and she pops the cork and takes a swig of it and hands it to you, Scarlet, as she says, "You want to make this interesting?"
What did you have in mind?
Oh, well, you can see she flips the dagger up and catches it and then like twirls it and then there's like it's on her finger. She's balancing it. We can do some classic gold or I don't know, perhaps if you've got something more interesting.
All right. You're on.
Catches the dagger, drops it and catches it. All right, what do you wagering?
A potion of invisibility.
Potion. I'll throw a potion in as well.
What kind?
You see, she goes in and she takes a potion out. She's looking through two different potions, like she's unsure which one. But it says, for this round, to do this. See, she jingles this potion that's in a sleek bottle. As you can see, the potion's clear liquid floats at the top of the container. And has body weight and birdies drifting in it, as if there's burst gravity in there. Potion of flying.
Deal. I hold out my hand.
Mm-hmm. And she'll grasp your hand, shake it, and say, "Surfacers first."
Ha.
Go ahead and give me a attack roll.
While this is happening, I think Tauri is just stepping into the room and immediately realizes what's going on and is like, in his mind, he's like, I can't play this game. If I play this game, everyone's gonna look at me weird.
I rolled a natural 1. Plus 12.
Thank
13.
you. The curse has been
Natural 1.
moved. The curse has been transferred.
Ha! Did you roll a natural one as well? No shit.
You're
Muted.
Yeah,
muted.
we read your lips.
She rolled a natural 1 as well.
Oh, all right.
What I'm gonna say though is the natural ones are auto fails. So you both
Whiff.
suck on the first one.
All
And
right,
maybe-
Sean,
It's a warm up.
and maybe it's because you both took a swig of her her
100%.
really really strong mushroom wine.
What is
Sean,
in that?
I have sharpshooter, so I don't impose disadvantage on long range throws. Can I just throw one from across the room just to show off?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What is it? Just a regular ranged attack roll?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a 2, which is better than a 1.
My God.
The curse has been moved.
Wow.
So-
moved.
But I get a plus 12 to that, so it was a 14.
Okay, so Talray at least hits the target. It's not a perfect bullseye, but it's definitely close to the middle, and it's definitely embarrassing after the two of you completely miss the target. And you hear Stronic be like, "You're not part of this gamble."
Yeah, get out of here.
As she,
Huron says, I'll put money on the Wood Elf.
"All right, that was a warm-up round. Here's the real round." And you see
Oh,
she's
Huron.
lining up to the throw.
I'll be ready to aim right after her.
She rolled a 25.
Fuck. 17.
Okay, so you see bullseye from her. As you don't get it. It's not a bad throw, but you know it's about 2 rings away from the bullseye. Similar to where a little bit closer than what Talray's last throw was.
Do better than that. One more.
Best 2 out of 3.
You know, the shepherds say that gambling is a sin.
Interrupt my attacker. I got
Shannon.
22.
That thing sharp.
Yeah.
This was almost an emergency. What
It's
do you?
fine. It's fine. 22. I got a 22.
This time you beat her. Okay, one last round to see who gets the 2 out of 3. And she looks a little. She takes a big swig of the mushroom wine. She hands it back to you if you want more of it. It's savory wine basically. Got a lot of umami flavor in it.
I'll wait for a victory sip.
Okay.
There we go. 30.
She completely misses this one. She only rolled a 2, as you see. I mean, it's not as bad as both of your first rolls, but she definitely the competition gets to her head, and this one is just barely hits the target instead of clamoring against the stone. Yours right in the middle.
That's more like it.
Fair match. Good for you. All great. Not upset at all. Here you go. And she hands you both the potion of flying and hands you the bottle.
Big victory sip as I tuck the bottle.
Yeah, it basically tastes like gravy. Oh, the wine.
Wow.
Alray's clapping from the sidelines while he's sitting on Mundy.
Mundy is already snoring.
So you said potion of flying?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. How about just some friendly competition here? No stakes. Just a few folks enjoying the free time and some peace for once.
You go ahead. I have one thing. I need to do some drawing.
Fair enough. A wolf man.
Eh.
You like to throw some darts?
I can't hustle you.
Just friendly. No gambling.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
I thought you were gonna propose some cool dope monk shit here. Like I bet you I can grab the dagger out of the air before it hits the target.
I actually was going to. I was gonna come up with a game where, like, you know how like jugglers, like I didn't know how to describe it though. When jugglers, when they throw it like something in the air, it spins around once and then they catch it. Like, how many spins can you do before you you screw up and grab the blade?
Oof. You want to do that? You could do one round of that. You'll definitely beat her with that sleight of hand rolls you've got.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sure.
All right, let's do it.
That's great. What is this? Straight dex or straight sleight of hand?
Let's say sleight of hand.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, that's really bad for me. 26.
She did not roll that well. She got a 14. So you definitely you're sitting there and you see the other dwarves are now kind of watching. They're interested, and you can see that one with the scruffy red hair all over. It's just like, Johnny, I'm doing it. You're doing it wrong. You did it wrong. And as he's like shouting at her that she's doing it wrong, she's like, you shut your mouth, and then it gets a little cut on her finger, and the dagger goes clambering on the ground, and I imagine you're just like not even looking at it and just going.
Yeah.
And she just sort of laughs and kind of sucks on the wound a little bit, and then offers you some mushroom wine.
No, that's quite all right. Wait, what does it taste like? just the taste.
With my book open.
Yeah, Scarlett's like, great.
Oh, never mind.
Just to kind of like round this moment out, I'll go back with my book open, and I'll finish my name, Rowan. I'll then write Reese. I'll do like Rowan and then a fancy and then Reese. And then on the page facing it, I'll start to draw him the way that I remember him.
Okay.
That's what I
Lovely.
spend the rest of the night doing.
Excellent. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before we take our long rest?
Okay. Sarathil's going to remain silent for the remainder of the night as he kind of just sits to himself, kind of gazed out of being petrified, or kind of my mind being taken over by these mind flayers once again, and kind of just holding the amulet he's wearing right now, just kind of like nestling with his fingers and kind of like I guess using it for some sort of comfort. And just kind of like trying to keep his mind straight and mentally just prepare himself for future journeys. And if so, attuned to the necklace.
Okay.
Timber would also like to check on Sarathil at some point too, knowing that he was like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, there isn't an item for it right now, but you basically will have access to
Dominate person, dominate creature.
Dominate monster. Yeah, dominate creature. As well as hold person and hold creature.
Do you want to say you can cast any of those spells up to 2 charges a day or 3 charges a day?
Yeah, let's say 2 charges a day.
And then refresh both during long rest?
Refresh both after a long rest. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
I don't know. This might be a little bit later into the night, but whenever Kieran sits down to either prepare his spells or just to like meditate or whatever, Taure is gonna sit down with him and just try and get a sense of what praying to Ilyavania might be like.
Yeah, so I guess, Curon's,
yeah. Set up the scene for us.
Curon has his little incense burning, as he's just meditating. It's almost like, I almost imagine it sometimes as like he has his own spell book like a wizard does, but instead it's like ethereal almost, and he's like, do I want this one or no, maybe not
Yeah.
that one. No. Okay, what are we gonna be dealing with? Ooh, we're probably gonna be fighting some mind flayers. Want to make sure to bring this one and that one over there. It's almost
Yeah.
like his like a cyber
Yeah, exactly.
Report.
with like holograms.
Yeah.
Talray. Hello.
Hi. I don't want you to be too excited, but I was wondering if you could teach me a little bit about Ilyavanya and, speaking to my own god made me realize that maybe I should be reaching out to some other trusted divinities. And I think that you seem like a good place to start. I mean, you seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. So how bad could Ilyavanya really be, right?
Right, of course. Well, I guess I should start this conversation by making sure you're aware that Ilyavanya is, for all intents and purposes, a dead goddess. She still has some power in our realm, as you've seen, either enacting through me or through some other kind. I mean, our friend Sarathil over there is only with us right now because of the magic she bestowed upon him.
Yeah, but I'm not sure you got that right, because Gloamadun said that Ilyavanya could be trusted. So how you gonna trust a dead person? That makes no sense to me. I think you might have gotten something mixed up.
Right. I guess I should say that the Ilyavanya, we Elysians, and those are the Southern Beastlands, of course. I shouldn't omit them. The Ilyavanya we used to know is no longer with us. She, to my knowledge, is currently re-manifesting on her plane. The more malevolent god drakes, Beret and Hairfost, dealt quite a blow to the Crescent Heart and her plane of existence. Whereas Gloamadun seems to still have more control, faculties over his realm. Ilyavanya's realm seems to be inaccessible to us worshippers at this time. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, really, the tenets of, being a moon blessed is just, I don't know, it's always been about doing what's right, if that makes sense. Seeking injustices in the world and righting them to work with nature in a way. There are some in the Cloister of Shepherds, Sean, I'm going to make this up, that are considered more druidic than clerical in nature. Whereas Cloister of the Seers have their paladins and their clerics.
Well, I guess that's kind of similar to what I was taught. I mean, Gloamadun is also really into nature and stuff. Not so much on the whole goody do good thing. I mean, like, he's sort of the type that says that freedom and nature is the sort of, like a tree is a tree. A tree don't get involved in things. A wolf's just hungry. He causes problems only because it's gotta. I mean, you gotta be like nature. You gotta be like the tree. Just
Of
let
course.
let those bad vibes sway through your branches, if you know what I mean.
You know, I think I do understand what you mean, Talray. That's good advice.
Do you think Ilyavania could get behind somebody who thinks like that?
I think she very much could. If I'm being honest, I feel like I'm a little more stringent compared to many of her followers, but that's more of personal upbringing than I think is her will. Um, by the way, how exactly did this, Kieran says, kind of gesturing to Talray and Mundi, how did and you said you're a guard, right, for Gloamadun? How exactly does one become the guard for a god drake's horde? Seems like quite the tale.
Uh, yeah, kind of a funny story. Well, going out up, my family was kind of, you know, very separate from the others. We lived in a different part of the forest, and when I was born, I was uh, blessed with some, disfigurements, and I just hold up my hand, and you could obviously see I'm talking about the draconic features in my body, and I said this the wood elves saw it as a blessing and tried to recruit me for themselves, but that just made me want to stay with my family even more. And one day, my mother told me about a secret grove that we knew that she found when she was little, deep in the forest. And as any adventurous kid would do, I went to go check it out, and I made a new friend, and it's all history from there.
Isn't that how it always goes? The adventurous soul wanders out and finds something new over the horizon.
Yeah, the guard idea really was more my thing. Glomund, he's really he's an adventurous little tack. So
I'm
so
sorry, wait, did you just call a god drake a tyke?
yeah, I mean he ain't that big.
Sure, but I imagine he's millennia old, if not aeons.
You wouldn't know it. When you're a little kid and you just made a friend with a little fluttery boy, it doesn't come up very much how powerful he is. So we would go on adventures to, all sorts of weird places that you probably never even seen before. Names that you never even heard of, like some crazy stuff, I'll tell you. But, eventually a kid gets scared, and, well, you can't keep up with that little boy so quickly. So I had to learn a lot to, keep up and, stay on my toes. So eventually, I couldn't. When I got a little older, it seemed like the smart move to just turn turn my sights towards a little bit of a more security based occupation. And I just watched the magic items and took care of the pets like Mundi here, and every once in a while I'd go out and do a chore or two. Get something from the elemental plane of fire, whatever.
So you've gone to different planes of existence beyond our own.
Sure. Like
That's-
a lot.
That sounds like a much higher role than a simple guard, but what do I know here? A simple shepherd.
So yeah, as he's saying all of this stuff, you hear a big from Mundy as a little bit of radiant light seeps out of his mouth, and he rolls over. And Talray, you would kind of like, woo, kind of. He
Well, I
rolls
didn't even know
over.
I was still on his back, but all right, that's fine. Oh, he's napping. I'll step off and like let him do his thing. Yeah. So how do we do this thing? You got like any good songs or something, or do we? She's
Songs?
just. I mean, when Gloamadun was like down in the dumps, I'd try and you know uh dragons are pretty much very how do I say it? Um, they really like to uh they like themselves like a lot. So I used to just say real nice things about him when he was feeling down in the dumps, or any just feeling appreciative. I like bring him stuff and presents and just show him that I cared. But I don't know how that works with somebody who's supposedly dead.
I'm muted, sorry. Well, it's not quite as you don't I don't exactly let me put it like this. I like to say little prayers to myself. Reminders of who I am and the context of everything, and from there you just think. Your mind wanders, and Iluvania is a center for it all, It's I don't know, I say to myself, I am creation, both haunted and holy, made in her glory. Even the depths of the night cannot blind me when she guides me. And that's enough to help guide me on my way.
That was real sweet. I think
Thank you. I
give it
wrote it over a season ago.
I think I could give that a try. Okay. I sit down and like crisscross applesauce, and I look up to just the ceiling of the tiny hut, and I say something like, "Well, here you go, Ziluvania. Hope you like this one. Um, the moon is round, like a big old tree stump, and I'm like a tree stump too, because I like to sit and wait. And if she's the moon and she can give some light, maybe the tree stump can grow up and be something bigger and better. And that's what I want to do. Yeah. Praise be.
That was beautiful, Talray. I'm sure
Yeah.
wherever her manifestation is, it's smiling upon us right now.
Thanks. Thanks, Kiron. We should do this again sometime. I had fun.
It would be my pleasure, friend.
And I immediately get up and walk away.
Yes. All right. So as you offer up prayers to Luvania about her glory and tree stumps,
Praise be.
praise be. You all can sleep somewhat comforting in the one with the tiny hut, but also kind of the melted stone bunker you're in. There are times in the night when there are deep rumbles in the earth that might make you nervous, but generally speaking, you get through the night with no disturbance, and you have your lovely little long rest. That's right, Baron, an all-elf poetry jam. But you wake up at the next, morning? 8 hours later. Refreshed and ready to make the final leg of the journey to the edges of Gopal Rostva. Anything you'd like to do as you prepare this morning?
Speaking with Stronic, Kieran goes, all right, I will now attempt to commune. Well, not commune. Send to your Gloom Lord. Is there anything that I should tell him specifically about where we are? Or anything like that?
Can tell him that you come with Gloomstalker, Stronic Dragov, that you are communicating with from
I missed some of that, Sean.
You are communicating. You are with Gloomstalker, Stronic Dragov, communicating from hollow ground. That will, she says, that will let him know who you are with, of his people, and that you are somewhere, one of our safe, hallowed grounds. You'll understand that. I mean, you are trustworthy to talk to.
All right. So Kieran casts Sending Plus, so we can have a nice lengthy discussion if need be with the Gloom Lord. As he reaches out and goes, greetings, Gloom Lord Garlemane. My name is Kieran Islastana of the Wayward Five, cleric to the dead goddess Ilivania. I'm sending to you now from hollow ground with Gloomstalker, Stronic, Dragoff, that's Dragoff. With news of reprieve for your besiegement. We've hit the Mind Flayers from the rear from the Gloamadun Gap and are working our way towards I skipped it. Where'd it go? Kolpotratsva. And wondering how we may best aid you in lifting the besiegement.
A few moments later, you would hear a response. You're out there with Stroni. It is good. I thought her dead. If you can really help, the Mind Flayers have concentrated their forces at the bridge. Gloamadun. We destroyed the bridge, but the bastards float. And they've some kind of psionic battering ram they're using. If you can disable the battering ram or draw their attention away, we can send out an attack to help you to maybe break this blockade. A distraction or destroying it would be the most helpful.
So, if we met their forces at the bridge, you could send reinforcements there as well, and we could hammer and anvil them.
Yes. At least enough to break the blockade for a moment, and hopefully get you in here. With Strawny. The Rangers.
Yes, of course. If you think it best we hit them at the bridge, then that's where we'll hit them. We're here to aid you, Gloom Lord. But we cannot. But I wish to make it clear that we are not here to fight this war.
Don't care what you're here to do. But, God's damn, you come at a good time. Hit the hammer, or hit the hammer, hit the ram, or cause a big enough distraction to draw those floating bastards away. And we'll hit the hammer. Ah! You got me all messed up with your analogies.
I don't think I did that, but okay.
You just hammer the anvil and...
I think that's basic strategic talk. I mean, I'm not even a strategic
All right.
strategist.
Well, not here to argue. I am here... You called me.
This isn't a call, it's a sending. I don't know what a call is.
You called through the magic, and it does not matter. We thank you. This is exactly what we've needed. Their numbers have thinned over the last few days.
You're welcome.
It was you?
Well, I mean, I don't want to take all the credit. It was all of us, really. The Wayward Five.
Whoever you are, mystery man.
Yeah, my name is
through magic.
Curon. Curon Silistana, Twilight Cleric of Illuvania.
Curon.
Oh, I'm friends with Wiswick.
Oh, and he doesn't even need you. Before you even say that, you hear a loud, booming, laughing guffaw from him. Curon is Celestana. Wizzy told us all about you as we crafted those items together. A good lad. He sounds like you're an even better one.
I don't know if any of us could be better than Wiswick, but thank you.
Well, with the friend of Wiswick's, of course we will help you. Accept
I
your
appreciate
aid.
it. Then we shall make for the bridge and hammer them good.
We'll have watchers waiting for a signal.
Until we meet in person, Gloomlord, may Twilight watch you.
Aye, lad. See you soon, friend of Wiswick.
And Curon ends the sending, turns to the party and goes, "All right, game plan time, team. I've spoken with the Gloomlord Garlemane, which I keep wanting to point out sounds a lot like this old King Charlemagne I heard about. It doesn't matter. He's asked, and I've agreed, to hit the Mind Flayers in their heart of this, not the heart of their encampment, but in the heart of their besiegement of Carpool Lots. Kolpultrajska.
There's this leftover voice of the Gloom Lord in your head. God put Rustva.
Kolpultraska. Tataja.
Fuck.
And then the Gloom Lord says, "You tried."
A good effort, lad.
They have some kind of psionic battering ram. The dwarves managed to destroy the bridge across the chasm that protects the city fortress, but... Well, we've seen the Mind Flayers just float. Fucking bastards.
You hear Stronic. Fucking bastards.
So...
You hear the red furry one. What the bastards?
Yes, exactly, as our friend. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
In
Undercommon, Kieran asks, I'm sorry, and your name was?
Ebediah.
Ebediah, right.
You didn't
As
go like Barney or Jeff.
Yeah, right, I was
as
waiting for, like,
Ebediah
Bob.
here was saying, we gotta get these damned illithids right where it hurts.
Don't right, lad.
Lad, I think I'm older than you, but okay.
Yeah, let me dispute.
I don't. Okay.
You see, he just takes out one of the same kind of like mushroom gourd that Stronic had last night and takes a big sip of it and throws it to you.
Kieran takes a polite little.
Oh yeah, it's gravy. It tastes just like gravy. This mushroom wine. It's also like 50% alcohol.
Oh.
I don't know why people aren't liking this. I love gravy. Right?
It's basically if someone just did a 50-50 mixture of turkey gravy and vodka.
So,
That's
what we're
what
gonna do is we're gonna hit him for the.
I knew it was just a lad.
You all right?
Now you drink his mushroom wine.
Now I know why his voice sounds like that. This stuff really destroys.
Yeah, I don't think you need any more of that. It tastes like gravy.
We'll hit him from the rear. And Kieran collects his things and heads out. He has cast Forbiddance in the direction of where we're going.
Cool.
I hand everybody who had some of the mushroom wine a good berry.
This is very good, Talray. Oh.
Yeah, good berries as chasers. That's
Bleh.
all right. So Stronic, or Strunny, as Garlemane called it, begins to lead you all through. It's pretty safe though. This journey, combining Talray and Strani's abilities, you are able to sneak around past any other Mind Flayer disturbances. And she takes you up a passage a little bit as she's like telling you all to follow, and she says, "This should bring us to the ledge above where they are. Hopefully there are no Mind Flayers up there, but if there are, we will have to do what we did last time and take them out quickly so we can take the advantage point, and we will be able to get a good look at the forces they have down there. So we're going to need to be very careful." And she looks at Sarathil.
Can I give Sarathil my cloak of Elvenkind so we can
Absolutely.
have advantage?
I'd have to attune to it, wouldn't I?
You'd have time to do that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but I'm already attuned to 3 things.
Oh.
Well, get rid of one. This is important. Hit Sarathil. I think you're going to need this much more than I am. Makes you sneakier.
Kind of like a little bit ashamed, but I'll nod and take it from her.
Okay. So I need stealth checks from everyone.
I can pass without trace.
Excellent. Hell
John,
yeah.
also keep in mind that we can maintain the same normal speed even while stealthing.
That is right.
Wait, which path trace? Is that
Plus
just for you,
10.
right?
Plus 10 for everybody.
It's for all of you.
Me too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Not gonna help. Oh, okay, thank God. 22.
All right, Scarlet.
26.
We got passed without a trace, right?
Yep.
Right.
40.
Woo!
Sarathil,
22.
Timber,
31.
Huron,
18.
Talray.
26. Do you want me to roll for Monday?
Yes, please. The Dwergar got a 22. We'll just check on Monday here.
Monday got a nat 1, which makes it a 16.
Okay. 16's not terrible though.
But it's not great.
Yeah, true.
Well, Scarlet got a 40, so I think we're okay.
Dope rogue shit.
Yeah.
Monday's got 4 legs. It's twice as hard for him.
Oh, music change. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Language. Clickety clack.
Okay.
Don't talk back.
Clickety yak. Don't talk back.
So, you begin to ascend the passageway up to the overlook. As you're doing that, I need everyone to give me a wisdom saving throw.
B2.
Yep.
Advantage? Or no?
I don't have Circle of Power right now, so.
Me too.
Yep.
Well, no, but doesn't
No.
Sarathil have the amulet on?
At the end
Oh, sorry, no. Sarathil, you do not. Did you? I imagine you cast Mind Blank on Scarlet today?
Yes.
Okay. Scarlet, you don't need to either.
Yep.
All
And it's a
right.
saving throw, not a check, right?
Saving throw, yeah. Timber, what'd you get?
19.
Nice. Kieran?
Nat 20 for a 30.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, boy.
And Talray?
18.
Okay, so you all pass.
Yay.
You do have the distinct awareness that you have passed into the psionic sphere. It's just like a general, like, really, really low thrumming sound that you can sense. You can more so feel it than hear it because it's such a low frequency. I don't remember the name for that kind of sound. That effect. Not that. Although that would be funny if that was the main feature of Mind Flayers. But yes, so you've passed, but you know that you're approaching the Mind Flayer, and that there probably is one on this overlook. What's the marching order? Strawny's up front.
Be up there too.
Kuran will be towards the front.
I'll be in the back.
Yeah, I guess I'll be behind that.
In the middle, I imagine Sarathil's in the middle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baron Smeedy. Infrasound is what I was thinking of. So you begin to ascend these steps, and There's a point where Scarlet, you're next to Strani, and she kind of stops really quickly, and she seems to get spooked for a moment. As you can see up ahead, because you guys are all basically crawling up steps right now to keep yourselves hidden, and you notice that about 10 feet up the steps there is just the you start to see corpses of Duergar. They are all sleek with coolant. She looks to you, Scarlet, and then back to everyone. And says, whatever you do, don't touch these corpses. They have not risen yet, but it is only a matter of time. As you all slowly crawl through these, it becomes more difficult to move through them because they're becoming more plentiful. To the point when you reach a space where the corpses block the path. What do you do? And when I say block the path, I mean, like, you could stand up and step over them, but you'd be risking exposing yourself a little bit. Which is fine, it just means you have to re-roll your stealth.
I'm just gonna float.
That's fair.
Yeah, I guess if need be, Curon can just cast Step of the Braves for a moment to, like, get over anything in dim to dark light.
Can I use
So these are, so just so you know, to fully describe the scene, the bodies become more plentiful as you're approaching the peak of the steps that's going to lead to the overhang.
Oh,
Which means if you float up, and that's why I meant
Yes.
when you stand up, you have to re-stealth. If you float up, you also have to re-stealth.
I see. Okay.
Can I use
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't float. I can't float. I can't have 2 concentrations.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I guess I could replace him and just fly.
Scarlett, what did you want to say?
use can I try and use Lily to, like, instead of flinging her out like I normally do, can I just, like, whisper to her and just be like, gently, and just have her, like, really quietly, like, slither up to something so that I can, like, pull myself and, like, stealthily swing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, generally speaking, you can bypass them by maneuvering. You just have to re-roll your stealth check
It's fine.
in order to quietly get over. And there's a chance the Mind Flayer, the Mind Flayer will essentially get a second chance at perceiving you with a perception check.
Fine. You still have
Oh, I'm
passive
sorry.
and
I'm sorry.
perception.
The potential Mind Flayer. Still with pass without a trace.
Ooh, that sucks.
What'd you get?
29.
29. Okay. As far as you can tell, Scarlet, you've been undiscovered as Lily slowly snakes kind of up to the ceiling and just latches very quietly, enough for you to kind of pull yourself over stealthily, and you are on the other side of the pile of bodies. And get back down low and retract Lily. So, the rest of you, what do you want to do?
Can I just blink over?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I guess I can try and fly over him.
Yeah, you absolutely can. It's just another stealth roll.
All right, I'll give it a try.
If I
$1 million.
can I try to find an a way to sneak through the bodies without disrupting them, or is it like literally like just
No, it's basically you've already been doing that with the other bodies. This is
Yeah.
now a space where it's just too much of a pile to properly sneak through them. You'd have to move bodies, and touching them is risky.
All right, so Curon is gonna take out Wiswick's magic carpet,
Mm-hmm.
put it down, get Sarathil on it, and be like, "All right, let's try to not be obvious." And any of the gloom stalkers that need to join.
I imagine the
And their
carpet is just like
construct
slowly moving. The
and-
construct, you don't have that with you anymore. They left.
Oh, when they leave.
When you got right before you guys went to pass the magma area, Stronach sent the construct back to
Whoops.
go do stuff.
And Noldo is.
Naldo can just move through the rocks in the wall.
Oh, good for him. All right, so yeah, so we'll just kind of be like, ooh.
All right, give me a new stealth check.
Wait, both of us?
Yeah, everyone.
Gulp.
Could I just Misty Step instead?
Yes. Yeah, that would be fine.
Then I would do that.
What'd you get, Kieran?
17.
Oh shoot, I gotta roll, don't I?
Yes.
Are we all even?
No, not only the people who
okay,
anyone who
okay.
has some kind of instant way to do it is fine.
Got it.
Only the people who are just like hovering and flying over. If you can teleport, you're totally fine.
23 with pass without trace.
Huron. You are hovering over the piles here, and you get, and like when you look at these piles, like the bodies are covered in this coolant, and the coolant is kind of like fizzing, sort of, as it is slowly taking hold of the body, and you can see like the flesh is simmering away. You can see skull underneath has kind of dyed this green color as the coolant is then sort of slowly replacing that face it just burned away.
Gross.
You make it over, but as you're hovering on the magic carpet, you kind of you coming up the stairs, and you can see peeking over the stairs, you can see into the room where you can see just a single Mind Flayer is there, staring out at the an opening in this cavern that leads to the Gloamadun Gap, and it's just like twirling its hand as there's this 3 orbs that are just orbiting in its hand. And then you see it stops twirling them. And the whole body just turns and looks you right in the eyes.
Hello.
Don't say it.
Roll,
Don't.
roll initiative.
No.
Oh,
We're obviously not going to jump into combat right now at 10:30. But
Oh.
everyone but Kieran and the Dwergar who are on the carpet with him.
It's just a carpet with like Curon at the front, like holding his staff, and then like 3 Dwergar like around him, like with like crossbows or like bows or something. Like, what's going on? What's happening? What have you done?
The rest of you do get a surprise round on it because you were stealthed and you're currently still hidden from it. It's just Curon who's kind of come above the. Imagine it's this, like Curon is floating up and the carpet's there. The rest of you are like down and to like the side of the stairs, like looking at Curon, like.
Hello.
And as he does that, you all know it's go time basically, and that you have one chance to kill this thing before true initiative goes. But they have seen Curon. So, what I'm thinking we do is we could do that surprise round real quick, because it might kill it. We'll do that surprise round, regardless of what the outcome is where the session will end. So, what would each of you
I
like
believe in you guys. You
So
got
we decide who
this.
goes first?
We were. Did anybody?
to do? Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative, because we'll just use that for initiative in case this doesn't go the way.
Yeah, there we go. Right at the end of the stream. 19.
I also got a 19.
All right, 20 to 25.
24. Ooh.
Thanks, Shannon.
Nice.
Plus 10, baby.
Ooh.
14 to 19. You
19.
two got 19, right?
Tell ready to go first.
Okay. And then just for the sake of it, Kieran, what did you get?
Kieran got a 19.
Oh, okay. All right. The dwarves got a 9.
Oh.
All right. So Scarlet, Timber, Talray, Sarathil. That's the order for your sneak attacks. So Scarlet, you're up first.
All right, I'm gonna do exactly what I did on the last one. I've got prongs of the blackout. Going to use my bonus action to speak the command word and activate the fire property of it, and use a charge to increase the reach. And just go for it.
Go for it.
Thank God for advantage. That's better. 30.
30?
30.
That hits.
All right, that's gonna be 12 points of slashing damage plus 9 points of fire damage plus 19 points of sneak attack damage.
Woo.
So that's
Good.
21 plus 19. 40?
Clean 40. Hell yeah. All right, Timber, you're up. Talray on deck.
Having it be distracted by Scarlet's whooping slash, I'm going to anime run really low and slide underneath it and get around behind it and pop it.
Pop!
Go for it. By the way, as you were ascending these steps going up and seeing all these corpses, the entire time you would have all been hearing the same sound getting louder and louder that comes from the Gloamadun Gap, which is this very, very loud which is clearly the sound of the psionic battering ram the Mind Flayers are using.
Sean, I hit the first one.
Okay.
And it's 15 damage. It's the stunning strike. Second one, I rolled a 17. Does that hit?
17 does hit.
Okay, and that's another 15
It
damage.
failed the stunning strike.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he's stunned. And then the second hit is also 15 damage.
Nice.
I'm going to do Flurry of Blows.
I'm proud of you.
19
Furry of blood.
to
19
hit.
hits.
Don't
All right,
bully.
11 points of damage.
Yeah.
Whatever. 30 to hit.
30?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then
Hell yeah.
And then 13 points of damage.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot. That was like almost
Dope.
60.
That was
Shit.
54 damage.
That
Hell
was
yeah.
awesome,
Oh, you
dude.
beat me.
Was it 50? No, it was 44.
No, it should be 54. I got 15, 15, 11, and 13.
Oh, sorry. I added it up from a different spot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because. Oh, I'm sorry. I had added one of the 15s already, and I was like, that would mean that it would be over this, and I was like, nope, you just looked at it wrong, Sean. All right, is that all, Timber?
That's all I believe I could do. Yeah.
All right, Sarathil.
I thought you just do 54 damage.
Sorry,
on this thing?
Talray's next.
It's not dead.
I have advantage for sneakiness.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go with just regular old shooting him in the face. I got 2 shots. Gonna use my sharpshooter on both.
Okay.
So The first one is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
2 6s, pretty hype. I'm also gonna say I used bonus action. What do you call it? Hunter's Mark. So I get an extra D6. So that's 29 plus 6 is 31 on the first shot.
How do you want to do
Necrotic
this?
damage.
Yeah.
Hey. So Scarlet has just kind of brought her prongs to the black up and cut across its chest. You can see, it like tried to block this with these orbs, kind of trying to form a shield with them, but her sword cracks through, and then Timber slides around and just brings these kidney shots up, and then one hit to the back of the neck, stunning it. And now you're bringing it home with the rifle.
I was flying over them when I hear like my friends like doing some chaotic shit. So I was like facing the other way, and I spin forward, and I'm upside down in the air right now, and like going the opposite direction. And I just aim my gun while upside down and like shoot towards his head and hit him in the back of the head from behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. You see this creature's turn. It tried to turn around to get to Timber, but it's stunned. And Timber, you just see the body kind of go limp as it's slowly descending down with the levitation, and then just the head just explodes right in front of you.
Ah,
You get this silver blood all over you, and
gross.
really gross brain matter and tentacles.
Oh, wow, no tentacle. Whoa.
And with the kill, Kieran goes, just safe from the carpet. See, you're helping so much already.
Timber, Scarlet, and Talray. Now that you're in the Overlook Chamber,
Mm.
as this attack, as you kill off this Mind Flayer, and you're all kind of, still anxious, but like the battle's over, you hear another, and it's super loud as you look out over the Overlook, and you see the blockade down there. You can see essentially what looks like a large chasm that goes down to a very dull, glowing red, what is likely of magma. That's very deep down there, like hundreds of feet. A shattered bridge. You can see 4 Mind Flayers are floating. And you can see they're using similar spheres as this one. And you can kind of just see like they kind of rotate them, and it all kind of comes together in this purple cyanic energy in the middle that just sort of and fires into the massive glowing gates. The gates of Kopult Rostva are made of this like sort of deep blue marble with these veins of jade light moving through them, or veins of jade moving through them. I'm sorry. I don't think that's what I meant. Yes, that is what I meant. On the other side of the bridge, you can see a whole host of husks, several swarms that are just standing there waiting for a way across. Floating above them are several Mind Flayers. The thing that really stands out to you is 4 Mind Flayers that were flanking the 4 using the ram, all looking at you at once and slowly floating upwards towards the Overlook.
Boy.
And that's where we'll end tonight.
I knew it.
Hell yeah.
How many Mind Flayers are there? Can we guesstimate besides the 4 that are floating towards us? A lot?
So I'd say at least 12.
Okay.
12
this
Mind
level
Flayers
up
in
fight,
total.
friends.
There's something I forgot to mention.
PK night.
At the edges of the gap, and Curon, once you get up with them, you and Sarathil would both recognize these. You would see at the edges of the darkness of the gap, kind of almost crawling and coming out of the stone itself, several long red tendrils,
God damn it.
brain stems,
No.
all coming out from that chasm.
Good lord.
So we've got the fortress, chasm, and coming out from the edges of the chasm Or just the chasm as a whole?
Chasm as a whole, but like on the cliff side of the chasm. Like they're not like coming out of the darkness and massive. They're actually relatively small. Probably as big as the one you encountered, but small from up here. And they're just on the cliff side of the chasm.
Right. They're close side to us.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
And then several swarms of husks and 4 Mind Flayers floating above those swarms of husks. Oh, and within the husks, there's husks, but then there's also Stygian Mind Flayers, which are the big ones with the long fingers.
These guys.
Oh,
Guys that do this.
Yeah, so I guess realistically, there's actually 16 Mind Flayers in this chamber.
And we'll kill them all.
Hell yeah.
Wait, you said there's four Mind Flayers floating. Where are the other 8?
4 floating.
12.
4 floating?
4 floating towards you.
Yeah.
4 that are by the gate with the psionic battering ram.
Yeah.
Oh.
4 floating above the horde. 4 in the horde that are the Stygian Mind Flayers, who can't float as high as the other ones, basically. So they kind of stay with the forces, and then the horde itself.
I cast Divine Intervention. Kill them all.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
All right. High or low? Which side
Low.
do you want? Okay.
Low.
And what level are you?
I'm 13.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember because we had decided that it was
Right. So level 10 was 10%, 11 is 15, 12 is 20, 13 is 25%.
Mhm. Yes.
So I just said kill them all. Curon is gonna say, Ilyuvania, bless our path forward.
Okay. Roll me one. If you get a 1 through 25, this will work.
Nope, 24.
Ah.
Aw, nice
At least
try.
it's not like the last time where it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Where you would have gotten if you said the other.
I just
Alright.
keep forgetting to use it, and I was like, this is it. This is where I'm gonna use it, and it's gonna work.
It was a good choice. This is a good choice to try.
That would have. This is definitely the perfect time to try it.
Yeah.
So the Wayward Five are overlooking the Gloamadun Gap. They have 4 Mind Flayers floating towards them to deal with them. 4 Mind Flayers manning a psionic battering ram against the Dwergar gate. 4 Mind Flayers that are probably all just turning their heads, looking up, and being like, "That's funny." A whole horde of psionic husks. 4 Stygian Mind Flayers amongst those husks, all blocking their way to Kopult Rostva.
And
But
we could have gone an easier way.
and Q failed divine intervention.
I tried really hard.
Oh, and amongst all of those, there's also presumably elder brain stems sticking out of the
Probably
chasm.
Collective Hours somewhere down there too.
maybe. But that's where
John's like, I forgot about those.
Yeah, damn it.
But that's been our show tonight, folks. Please tune in next week for what is sure to be an exciting encounter as our heroes try to fend off the Mind Flayers, hopefully with enough time to get the Dwergar to help them out of this jam, to get them into Kopult Rostva and on to the next part of their journey.
It will be
Thank you
Christmas
so much.
themed. Every Mind Flayer will be wearing a Santa hat.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Upcoming programming, folks. So, this week we have, of course, another play in Paradise tomorrow night. With our
Continuing
very...
through with Gloomhaven.
It will be at
Excellent.
7:30 instead of 7 because
Oh
I have
my
a
gosh, yeah,
company-
you have things to do.
I have a company thing.
Okay. Well, due to Alex's corporate life, you will all have to wait an extra half hour to see some Gloomhaven. Wednesday night, we will continue the holiday-themed Relaxing in Paradises. Though this week I'll probably be working on some terrain stuff for this fight. And buying more illithits.
Don't need more. You don't need any more. You got plenty.
Yeah, I could divine intervention. It's my turn.
Oh
you
yeah.
did
Everyone
too.
gets a divine
Yeah.
We all have a god, right?
We all worked for Ilyvania, so we should all get a shot.
Right?
I just
I
want to
worked
see.
really
Can everyone
hard for these 13 levels of cleric, so please don't belittle what I do. Okay.
Can everyone just roll me a D100 real quick?
You fucking got it.
Yeah, just for fun.
Really?
Just for fun. It probably won't do anything, but I just want to see.
I got a 21.
I got a 7. I got a
79.
54.
Hey, I got
Okay.
a 54 too. We're D100 buddies.
We could add them together because we
Shannon.
were to the same guy.
Yeah.
What do you do anything when Kiran beseeches Ilyvania? You start your journey, your holy journey to becoming a champion of Ilyvania.
Yeah, right. This is the turning point. I will just look at Kieran, who's probably looking disappointed. I will reach up and grab his hand from where he is on the carpet and just be like, please, Moon Goddess, we need your help. And
You would see there is a bit of a glow that comes from your staff, Kiran. This is not getting you a full divine intervention here, but because I like the idea of them seeing you do this and initiating some kind of journey for themselves to help them with their faith and who they are as a person. So some growth better come from this, Scarlet.
way ahead of you.
Scarlet, you feel that glow come from the staff, and you like close your eyes for a moment as you had uttered this, and Kiran, just sort of a moonbeam fires out from your staff, and where it would have cleared a whole path for you all, it just sort of clips through 2 of the 4 Mind Flayers floating towards you. As you can see, they just sort of like they get kind of torn to pieces and disintegrate into sparkling starlight as they descend and fall into the chasm below. You can see the tentacles wriggle with anger as those 2 Mind Flayers just sort of do that quick, like they look back at you.
Just flip
One
off.
goes like this. One goes like this as 2 from the bottom start to float up to join them. But you have killed 2 of the 16 Mind Flayers.
I look at
Yay!
Kieran, just
2 of the
so
16.
excited, like,
Yeah.
Internally, Kieran's like, you answered her, but not me.
You literally do anything to not talk to you.
Yeah, right. She's somewhere out there. Her dead ghost is just like, he's so obsessed with me.
Stop
It's kinda-
fangirling.
girl power.
But then join us on Sunday for the Sean Enchanted Power Hour. The most powerful hour on the internet.
Saying the same thing.
Where we'll recap this session tonight and speculate about how the next session will go. Season 3 of Scales Above from Roll for Damage. Shannon is done for this season, but I have one more episode. It's going to be a interlude episode that's going to be just me and Kelsey, a rogue Uzu, her character Saren. I'm figuring some shit out, and it's probably going to be sad. As we've been saying, we're very excited. We got into the New Jersey Web Festival. We're very excited. Keep an eye out for information about that in 10 months when the festival actually happens, to see if we win any awards. But this has been Advantage in Paradise. Thank you for joining us, Paradise Productions. Shannon,
Oh,
who are you rating?
There'll be a giveaway on Twitter too. Keep an eye out. I'll
Oh,
do
yes.
that- I'll
Keep
do
an eye
that
out on
tomorrow.
Twitter, because we are going to be doing a giveaway for if we can reach, when we reach 3,000 followers on Twitter.
Mega bundle.
Yeah, and I might throw something extra in if you can get me to 1,500 followers.
Oh. Hell yeah. Cool. Let's do Matt. Matt streaming.
Diagnose Matt?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, folks, go and give Diagnose Matt our love. We got to meet him in person for the first time at PAX. It was very cool. He's a
It's amazing.
really good guy. Playing Hollow Knight.
Oh, that's a great game. Good time right there.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Great
All right,
game,
say
good-
great guy.
Say goodnight and thank you, Iluvanya.
Good
Thank
night
you,
and thank you,
Iluvanya.
Thanks,
Iluvanya.
Ilya Vanya.